Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, the happy hour is ready to begin. Get your cocktails now. I'm not even going to bother with a word from our sponsor this time. We're just going to go right at it. Screw it. We're just going to go right at it and get going. I am the old humble guy. It is just after midnight in Houston, Texas. I am still riding high from the victory in tonight's World Series game. The World Series is tied at 2-2. The Astros have tied the series with the Phillies, and I am looking for a bottle of whiskey, and I don't have one at hand. That's fine. We'll just drink some water tonight. I'm looking for a specific bottle of whiskey. I don't have it at hand. I'm trying to go with a little bit darker theme. I've turned off all the lights except for my main one in front of me, and I can't turn that any lower. Let's see if I can actually adjust the light setting and make it actually dimmer. Can I turn that down even more? That's a little bit better. All right, well, there you go. I've changed wardrobe. I am no longer in the plaid. I am in black. I've spent this entire month working an event at a venue on the south side of town, and I was prowling the halls in my hat and in black, and it. I like the look. It's slimming. It makes me. I've actually dropped 10 pounds this month too. It's slimming. It makes me look good. It makes me feel good. I like it. We're going to go with the black. A little bit darker theme all around. Thank you, JLM. I appreciate you telling me that it looks good. Thank you. And cheers. Welcome to you. You're in the house. If you look up here at the top of the screen, we are at 939 subscribers. I believe the last time I did a show, episode number 93, we had just passed 900. I think we had gone up to 905 or maybe 910. We are at almost 940. If we hit 945 by the end of Saturday, I am on pace for 1,000 by the end of this month. As of right now, I need just about 2 per day. Let's see here. Hey Siri, how many days are left in November? Hey Siri, how many days are left in November? Should be 30 days, right? Today's the 2nd. Come on, Siri, get your shit together. So it's 29. It should be 29 days, right? So the 3rd through the 30th is 29 days. And that's what, 61? 61 divided by 29. That is 2.1. I need 2.1 subs per day. So yeah, if we're at 945 by the end of the week, we're on target. Thank you, 28. I can do math. I can't always do math. I'm not trying to do math right now. But tonight we're we're talking about 2 specific things. The first part of this has to do with this number right up here, 939, and the other number right here, 1,000 subscribers. I've been saying for probably the last, 2 years, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to fight a kangaroo. I've put on a deadline for that. So if we had 1,000 subscribers by November 30th, the end of November, we had 1,000 subscribers by the end of November, I will fight a kangaroo. Dead serious about this. Absolutely 100% dead serious about this. Cheers to chat. I see John Jacobs in chat. JLM. Goddamn Bacon's in the house. Cheers, Bacon. I'm dead 100% serious about this. There is a kangaroo. I was looking back through my old photos. There's 3 kangaroos over at this aquarium thing down the street from my house. Gonna absolutely beat the piss out of one of their kangaroos. They've got 3 of them. I've got pictures of them on my phone. I will show you. My nemesis. Looking for my favorites. My favorite photos, my favorite album, featured memories. Where's it at? Shared with, sharing. Where's my fucking albums? Library, all photos. I don't want all photos. I want favorites. Let's find it. Filters. Favorites. Here it is. Done. Here they are. Look, I'm not kidding. These are those assholes. These are the kangaroos. There's 2 of them. That's just the only picture I have, just the 2. Yeah, I'm going to go down the street. I'm going to go up to the ticket booth, and I'm going to tell these people that I want to fight their kangaroos. And I'm going to make them tell me I'm not allowed to. If that's what they're going to do, then that's what I'm going to make them do. But I'm going to go there. I'm going to go up to the ticket booth. I'm going to be in my robe and my trunks, and I'm going to ask for a ticket to fight the kangaroos, and we will go in there and fight the kangaroos. All the Friedlies. In fact, you know what? I don't like that button. That button does not make me feel comfortable at all. Just make that button go down there. Okay, better. So that's the plan. 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and so that means 2 subscribers a day. Today's Wednesday now. No, today's Thursday now. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Add 2. That's 41 for Thursday. Add 2 for Friday. That's 40. 3, add 2 for Saturday, that's 45. We're on pace. 9:45 by the end of Saturday, we're on pace. 2 per day, every day, for the rest of the month. And last month, I think, last month I had like 83, 85. The month before that, 88. The month before that. So whatever. So I'm on pace. We're good. We're good. I'm comfortable that we should hit that number by the end of the month. So I'm no longer, I never really was chasing subscribers. But they have been a byproduct of the project that I started back in February. Actually, let's do some quick housekeeping stuff real fast. Live music on Fridays. Next Friday, same old circles. The Friday after that, we have a storyteller song swap on the 18th, and then the 25th is Josh Brown. And then we have Same Old Circles coming back for the 2nd of December. So we've got a busy schedule of live music coming up going into December. And I'm going to start booking more in December probably this week. Start filling up my December schedule and going into January. And then we've got Day in the Lives coming up next week. We have tasting schedules all weekend. We got a whole bunch of shit going on all month long. Follow our Twitter, follow our Facebook, follow all the stuff if you want to find the schedules. We've got a watch party for the Astros Saturday night, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6, parties at 7. Watch party for the Astros, which should be the 6th and final game of the series. If it's not the 6th and final game of the series, then that'll be Sunday, the 6th and final game of the series. I think it's Sunday. It might be Monday. But either way, we're going to be open for it, and we're going to be kicking ass. Hopefully, the Astros will be wrapping up the series here in Houston in Game 6. But holy shit, they threw a no-hitter today. A no-hitter in the World Series. You know how many times that's happened in history? Twice. Once in like the 50s with Don Larson threw a perfect game in the World Series. And the second time, a staff no-hitter. 4 pitchers combined for a no-hitter for the Astros. 4 fucking pitchers combined for a no-hitter. The World Series, sports ball talk. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. Phillies can suck it. Uh, I mean, they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. They're a good team. Um, the game is on Fox. Fox. It's locally broadcast on Fox. Fox 26. The Fox local broadcast affiliate is it has the game. I don't think it's on ESPN. Not sure. You know what? I'm gonna do something. We're gonna go ahead and move to the next screen. I'm gonna go ahead and put chat in because I don't really have like a formal like topic to talk about, except Project 360. That's the formal project that I'm talking about. The formal topic for the night, and I'll just go ahead and talk about it. We'll add that in to the discussion. What the fuck is Project 360? Well, that's a great question. Glad you asked. Happy to tell you. Project 360 is the next phase of our channel project that I've been working on since February. So let me tell you what we started in February. Started back in February. In February, I noticed I was working on this idea of doing live music on Friday nights. Right. In fact, I'm going to scroll chat up to the last so I can stay caught up to chat. I don't want y'all to get ahead of me when I'm talking. Um, so I noted when I was getting the channel ready to have this live music and these live bands that nobody was watching. And when I say nobody was watching, I'm not being hyperbolic at all. I'm being like legit honest. Nobody was watching. So we started the channel back in March 2020. Well, we started the channel before that, but I hadn't really done anything with the channel from, I think it was October 2014 is when I actually started the channel, that I merged it with our uh, I took it over, renamed it, rebranded it from the previous owners or the previous partners that I had. Um, all the stuff we did, got rid of a bunch of videos, cleaned some stuff up, whatever. Um, but like we had no viewers, no views, no hours, no subscribers. In March of 2020, I think I had 25 subscribers, and 3 of them was me. So in March of 2020, the pandemic starts, everybody's home. I start using our channel to do live stuff, start doing a live cocktail happy hour, started it on Facebook, moved it over to here, started doing like a live little happy hour cocktail show to ones and ones of people. Nobody was watching. Very few people were watching. Then I built up the following on the YouTube channel from 25 to 100 to 125 to 50, 150, 200. Sometime in early 2020, I got like 100, 200 people, was able to get the name of the channel set up to Old Humble Distilling Company, youtube.com/C/Old Humble Distilling. Had everything set up. I was very happy with my progress, very proud of myself. Through 2020, we were doing this happy hour. We kind of regulated and codified it a little bit. We were streaming on Twitch, we were streaming on YouTube, we were streaming out on Twitter and Facebook. We were streaming it out. One day it was Facebook, one day it was Twitter. Bouncing back and forth. So we had this, but again, nobody was watching. And when I say nobody, I'm not really being hyperbolic because we had twos and twos of people watching the shows, ones and ones of hours of time. No, not really a lot of engagement, not really a lot of anything. Doing the cocktail, talking about traveling, all this stuff. And that was through the pandemic year. We grew, I think, up to a couple hundred people through 2020, and then moved into 2021. We built the channel up another couple hundred people to the point at the end of 2021 we had something like 400 subscribers. No slouch, nothing bad, but not. I wasn't satisfied with the growth of the channel. It didn't feel like it was getting a lot of traction. My pre-recorded stuff, the uploads weren't getting a lot of views. Like nothing was really working really well. But no surprise, I wasn't really looking at analytics. I wasn't trying to do YouTube very well. I wasn't looking at the algorithms. Wasn't looking at any of the underlying data, anything like that. Wasn't doing anything to really make it, to get good at doing YouTube. I wasn't really trying. You know what I mean? So going into 2022, we'd been sitting on something like 400 subscribers now for like 5 months. Hadn't added any new subscribers. Hadn't really done anything. Wasn't getting a lot of engagement. Wasn't getting a lot of traction. Nothing really was happening. So I had a lot of really, had guests on my happy hours that sometimes people would watch, sometimes they wouldn't. I'd have, I thought I was doing some pretty good shows. I had some really good guests. We had some really good interviews, but we weren't getting a lot of engagement. And part of that was just because I wasn't trying to learn how to do the YouTube thing. I thought that it would simply be a function of make good content, people will follow. Make good content, people will follow. Make good content, people will follow. I thought it was just a simple function of that. Just focus on on what you were doing. There's more to it than that. There's more to it. There's an art. There's a science. There's a science to it. There's an art to it. You focus on the art, but you have to pay attention to the science. What it boiled down to is I wasn't paying close enough attention to the science, and I wasn't very good at the art either. I'm still not particularly good at the art. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I mean, these shows suck. I'm under no delusions. This is good conversation, good engagement. I like my chat. Yeah, but it's old humble after that. We're not winning Emmys or Grammys or Pulitzers or any shit like that. Don't blow smoke up my ass. I won't blow smoke up yours either. But there's a science to it too, and I was always ignoring the science, and it was really disappointing because I had some really good guests, really engaging conversations, really interesting interviews. At least I thought they were good at guests and good interviews, but nobody was watching. And then I was thinking about having these live bands and have these live bands come on starting in March. And if I was going to have these live bands come on, I wanted an audience to engage with the bands. So I decided to start learning the science for YouTube. Get into the algorithm, get into the science. And it made a difference. It absolutely made a difference, because if I look at my engagement, if I look at my data, and I think I'm going to try and pull the data up, the channel analytics up, so that y'all can see what it is that I'm talking about over the lifetime of the channel. You can see it's flatlined, and then at some point this year, it turns into a thing. I'm looking over here at my monitor where my data is. I'll show it to you. I'm not at all bullshitting. I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. If you look at the lifetime graph, and I'm going to pull that up in just a second so y'all can see it. Let me add a screen here. Let me see if I got my sources here. Where is there it is. This one. This should do it. If I pull up the channel analytics, yeah, that'll do. Show me the channel analytics. There it is. Here's my channel analytics page. I'll show you. Put it up here in the upper right-hand corner. Look at it. I'm not lying. For 2 years, from October, way over here, October, that's like October 2014, right here. This is the views on the channel. This is when it starts waking up over here. It's February 2022. That's now. That's this year. We went from dead flatline to actual shit. And if we zoom in from lifetime to, come on, dipshit, do the thing you're supposed to do. That's going to take a second. All right, we're going to close this graphic off, and I'll try and zoom in from lifetime to, let's just go the last 2 years. I'm going to customize the date range. Go to the last 2 years. From 26, we'll go from October 2020 or January 2020. Back. It's going to take forever. Okay, I'm also going to switch over to my single screen, and hopefully this will work. You just give me a second. So if I compress this down to just 2 years, you'll also see 01, 01, 20. There we go. Apply it. Wake it up. All right. We compress it down to just these last. There it is. Is it up? Come on, show me. Show me. There it is. It's going to take a minute. It's like right over here. Try me. Don't be a dick. Show me what you got, Chrome. Channelytics. All right, it's coming up. It's going to take a second. But it's still, I mean, it's the same story. You're just going to have to trust me for right now that it's the same story. But it's flatline for 2020, 2021, and then it wakes up in 2022. Right around February of 2022. It actually wakes up towards the end of like May 2021. Wakes up around May 2021, and then it starts doing stuff. I'm going to switch over, try to switch my graphics over to a single screen, second screen only. There we go. That's better. That'll make my graphics card work less hard. All right. Bring that graphic back up. Close you off, turn you on. There? Is it there? It's not there. Damn it. Come on now. Studio. That's the chat box. There it is. Channelytics. There it is. Look. So we go. There it is. We go flatline. This is 2021 or 2020, 2021, and then this is 2022 right here, or the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. And you can see a drastic change of stuff. Look at what, look at that. That is, and then we're going to zoom in one more time to just this year, if it'll let me. Custom. If it'll let me do just this year. That's January 1, 2020 to November 21. And this is just 2022. You'll see we like have a little bit of life there in the second half of the year, and then when 2022 shows up, it's kind of dead until February, and that's when I learned how to be better. There it is, garbage until. Come on, switch the size of this. It is garbage until like February. It wakes up. And then it gets much, much better in April, May, June, July. January, not very great. February, we start waking up, especially in April, May, June. The scale's all screwed up. So this is like several per day. I wonder if I can shrink this up to just, fuck it. But then it starts really waking up here in the last several months. Really starting to kick ass. But the net result of this was I started out with this project, the 100,000 views project, right? Because before February 2022, we had all of 40,000 views on the channel. And of those 40,000 views, 36,000 of those views was like 3 videos. So really, we had only had about 4,000 views on the channel. So we went from basically 4,000 views over the course of 2 years to me deciding we're going to have 100,000 views on the channel. More views means more viewers means a larger market means ultimately more of the things that we're looking to get. The strategy started to pay off towards the end of February. Into March, the strategy started paying off. We were starting to get more and more views. Went from a few hundred or 150 to a couple hundred. March was the best month I've ever had, 700 something views. April was even more with 800, 900 something views. And then May, it took off because I figured out how to make shorts. And people were consuming my shorts. And consuming shorts is how things began to really start to grow and expand, because that was making, I was able to make more better videos and reach a bigger, larger audience. And the duh moment was the correlation between unique views and new subscribers. Because you're not going to get more subscribers if the only people watching your videos are your current subscribers. So the more unique views I was getting, the more subscribers I was getting, and that's when I figured out, that's the solution to that's the key to the thing. The thing that I needed to figure out how to do was find new viewers. So I started in on the short strategy, and I've started making more shorts. We have live videos like these. These are our live videos that we do. Our happy hour on Tuesday nights, on happy hour on Thursday nights, live music on Friday nights. And the live music is getting traction. We're getting more and more and more viewers come into the live music. We get plenty of watch time and engagement from people watching and listening and engaging with the band and enjoying themselves. And that's kind of what the whole point of that was, to have people just participate with the band, participate in live music, turn it on, listen to it, relax, kick back, enjoy the concert, right? An extension of our tasting room. Our tasting room goes from our place to your place. You can enjoy Old Humble's tasting room wherever you're at. That's the entire point of that show. And these two, the same type of conversations you used to be able to have at a bar, sitting around a room, having a few drinks, enjoying yourself, shooting the shit with your buddies. That's the whole point of these. Whatever topics come up, whatever discussion we have, wherever the discussion goes, that's the whole point of these shows. Thursday night trivia night is the same idea, where we take the what goes on in the tasting room and extend it out virtually through the internets to your house, so you can play trivia night the same as us. The whole point of our live shows, the whole point of the happy hours, was just to extend the experience at the distillery to you. And it was working. The shorts was working, getting more viewers, more unique audience. We've managed to grow our audience that way. Now, the next half of this project is what we're starting right now, this Project 360. So Project 360 is related to watch time. Right now, according to the monetization schedule on the YouTubes, I am sitting at 16. Where's the library? Customization, monetization. That's the one. I am sitting at 939 subs with 1,693 watch hours. I get a lot of watch time from the shorts feed. I get a lot of watch time from the shorts feed, and I get a lot of watch time from our lives. But I don't get a lot of watch time from the lives after the lives end. So, like for a show like this, for a Day in the Life show, for our Thursday night trivia show, and for our Music Fridays, a combination between the three normal shows that we do, 5, 15, 30-something hours, 40-something hours in a given week, which is about half of what we need to hit that monetization goal of 4,000 watch hours a month. Throw in a Day in the Life, I might hit 50. You basically need about 100 a week, 4 weeks in a month, 400 a month, 335 hours a month, I think is the number. You go 400 divided by 12, it's something like 330 hours. So I took the 330, moved it up to 360, because 360 is a really cool round number. It's the number of degrees in a circle, the number of degrees if you turn all the way around. It's a much better number than Project 350 or Project 333 or Project whatever. So Project 360 is the next step of this thing, where I will embark now on trying to figure out how to collect up 360 hours a month for the next however many months it takes to hit 4,000. It should be about 8 to 10 months from now. So sometime in June, by the end of next summer, I should be hitting the number that I'm looking for, unless the Project 360 goes the same way as the quest for 100,000 views, where we not only hit our 100,000 views mark that I was shooting for, going from 40,000 to 100, but also blew away. I added 60, then I added 40 more, so I hit 100,000 views this year. Then I doubled that to 200,000. Then I added another 50 to 250,000, and now we are very close to 300,000 views for the year. We should pass 300,000 views by the end of November if things continue apace, because we're knocking on the door right now of 370, I think. I don't remember what it said over there on our analytics page. But we are knocking on the door. We are knocking on the door of 270 views right now, if I recall. If I look at the lifetime views on our analytics page, I think we're knocking on that door. It'll show up. Oh, there it is. That's this month. let's look at the lifetime real quick. And this isn't to brag. I mean, this is just to open up the window and let y'all see what it is that I'm looking at when, I mean, it is kind of to brag, but it's also to open up the window to let y'all see what it is that I'm looking at and how we're trying to, yeah, 200, we're knocking on the door of 280. Holy shit, it's even higher than I thought. It's yeah, a little bit of it's to brag, but also just to kind of open up the window, let y'all know where we're going with the channel, where I'm going with the channel, what I'm trying to do next. So the next thing that I'm trying to do is rework some of the strategy when it comes to the show. So we'll probably do less happy hours like this one. Probably keep going with the trivia. Maybe tinker with the schedule a little bit, move the trivia to Wednesday night, do the live music Friday night, maybe do the continue doing the Thursday Friday combo, maybe move our Wednesday nights to Tuesday nights, maybe keep the Wednesday nights. I'm not sure, but I'm almost certainly 100% certain that I'm going to be adding in another aspect of the channel, throwing in some uploaded videos in the neighborhood of 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minute videos edited down from other footage that we've collected. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I haven't figured that out yet. But that's probably the next part of Project 360. Project 360 that I'm working on. Project 360 is, I reiterate, basically the math is 11 or so hours a day. 11 hours a day, 75 hours a week, 335 hours a month. I'm rounding that up to 360 because 30 days in a week or 30 days in a month, 12 hours a day, 360 hours a month. That's kind of the goal that I'm setting now, which means adding 300, and I don't think I've added 300 hours of monetizable watch time in the history of my channel. Looking at watch hours, I mean, it says 4,000 over the lifetime of the channel. 2022 watch hours, it says 2022 watch hours is 2,700. If I go back to October, it says 391 watch hours, but that's not all monetizable watch hours. Because, a lot of those watch hours come from shorts. As I was saying before. So it's, there's 398 was September. If I go back before then, prior to September, I've got, well, I don't want to go any further back. 2021, total year for 2021 says 640 hours and 19,000 views. And most of that came from like one video or a couple of shorts that popped off during the year. So yeah, there you go. And I added all of 125 subscribers, all of 2021. Oh, what a year. And so far, 2022, I've added 406. So we're going to close that screen. I'm going to quit talking about it. But yeah, that's Project 360. That's the plan going forward. Project 360, 360 hours a month, starting in November, 360 hours in November, 360 hours in December, 360 hours in January. That's the goal. Starting to add 360 hours a month every month. And do better engagement, better videos, start uploading some 10-minute videos, and you do the math on that. You do for one video, 5 minutes, 200 views, 5 minutes times 200 views, divided by 60 minutes per hour. That's 16.7 hours per video. You have a 5-minute video with 100 views. People watch the video, 5 minutes, 100 views, 17 hours, right there. So, just a series of 5-minute videos. There you go. It's not that easy, though. It's not that easy. There's more to it. You can't just upload a 5-minute video every day for a month for however many months. Jesus Christ, that would take forever. But it's not impossible. 4,000 is doable, and that is the project. I'll do a couple of follow-ups over the next couple of weeks of what I've learned and how to do it. Anybody has insight right now, y'all can go ahead and put it in chat, which I believe is going to be right over here in just a minute when I switch screens. And then, give me some tips, give me some hints, give me some ideas. I'll start popping this shit up, and we'll see it. We will absolutely see it, and see where we go from there. So there you go. In other news, for sports ball fans, my beloved Houston Astros. I don't know if y'all see this over my head. Can y'all see that? No, it's too dark now. I'm a baseball fan. I'm a huge baseball fan. I've always loved baseball ever since I was a kid. There's something special about the sport of baseball. The timelessness, the classic nature of it, the pace of the game where it's slow and quiet until it's not, and it's a laid back pace until it's not. Then it's frenetic and crazy, and then it's not again. And it's a gentleman's sport. I love it. Everything about baseball I love. It is as much. It's as much your basic American religion as you can possibly get. It's handed down from parents to children, and from children to their friends, and people grow up in it, and I can't say enough good things about baseball. And yes, I know the Astros have their old cheating scandal, whatever. I don't give a shit. Die mad. Fucking take that hate to your grave and die mad. I don't care. The Astros won a World Series in 2017, their first ever World Series. They got swept by the White Sox in 2005. They won their first ever World Series in 2017. They're the only baseball team ever to lose a World Series in both the American League and National League. They're the only baseball team to go to a World Series in both the National League and American League. They're the only baseball team to win a National League championship and an American League championship. They're the only baseball team now, only the second baseball team to throw a no-hitter in the World Series, and the first baseball team to throw a no-hitter with their entire pitching staff. A squad no-hitter. I think they trotted out 5 pitchers tonight and threw a squad no-hitter. It's not the first squad no-hitter they've thrown. They've thrown other squad no-hitters, notably against the Yankees. Before, I think Verlander had a no-hitter earlier this year. Was it this year or was it last year? Yeah, we no-hit the Yankees this year, as a matter of fact. Threw a no-hitter against the Yankees this year. And previous to that, the last no-hitter we threw was against the Yankees. It was a squad no-hitter. Trotted out something like 6 pitchers to throw the no-hitter. But this is the only second no-hitter ever thrown in the World Series. I am so over the moon, elated. I took 2 shots of my classic Boomtown Bourbon, the legendary whiskey for a legendary night. Fucking amazing. I'm still riding high off of this. This is fucking amazing. Great. And in fact, I'm going to pour myself another drink. I'm going to grab my Special Reserve here behind me. Old Humble Special Reserve. 90% corn, 10% malted barley, aged 5 years in used bourbon barrels, finished in new barrels. A legendary. The only gold medal winning whiskey from the United States in the 2020 London International Spirits Festival. A legendary whiskey for a legendary night. Chef's kiss. But there you go. That's the things on my mind tonight. Project 360 and the Astros threw a fucking no-hitter. So let's catch up on chat, shall we? It's 12:06 in chat. The clock says 12:20, 12:39. That puts me 33 minutes behind in chat. So let's catch it up. M. Corky is already established. Like supporting channels trying to get up there, just like yeah. Doc is great. I love Doc. He should have his 4,000 tonight. He was 7 hours away, 6 hours away. He had 21 people watching. He'd been on for 2 hours. Doing that math, he's well past. Even if those 21 people who had only been on there for like 5 minutes, he's well past his 6 hours. And so bravo to Doc. Congratulations to him. He's a bad motherfucker. I like him. I like him a lot. He's a smart guy. Pretty decent writer. Has a couple of books out there. Catch them, read them. I think the audio books are even out there. So if you can't read, you can just listen to the book. I know some of you degens can't read. So it's fine. It's fine. No judgment. No judgment. No judgment whatsoever. But yeah, bravo to Doc. Bravo to him. So there you go. John Jacobs, Bacon, JLM. Okay, let's catch up fast. Maybe I'll do a channel Now, big money Elon bringing balance to Twitter. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't get me started on fucking Elon. Elon Musk, as smart as that dude is, he's paid $44 billion for Twitter. From what I understand, the service, he took out a shit ton of debt to buy Twitter. And the debt service on what he borrowed is something like $1 billion a year, which is larger than the revenue that Twitter made last year. So, just based on that math, I think we Twitter users need to prepare ourselves for the real possibility that Twitter may become the next MySpace. And everybody knows what happened to MySpace. After MySpace sold, it became a ghost land. Became a ghost town. It was heavily competing with Facebook at the time. MySpace sold out. Facebook blew up. And Facebook wasn't beating MySpace yet. They were both head and head. They were competing. They were competing platforms. A lot of people forget that MySpace was still a thing, and it was still a thing, and it was still growing. It had its issues, but they sold, and when they sold, they died, because they had the new owners were trying to monetize a platform that had been free. It's extremely hard to get people to pay for a service that is free, and everybody knows that if you're not paying for a service, you're the product. But everybody's okay with that. Like this is an understanding that we have on social media. You're on social media, you're not paying for it. If you're not paying for it, you're the product. Advertisers pay for it because advertisers are trying to get a hold of the product. And who's the product? You, me, we're the product. So I give it. I mean, he's a smart guy. You know, you don't become a billionaire by losing money and throwing money away. But I give it 2 years, maybe 3. Yeah, it's tough when a social media platform loses its legitimacy. I mean, look at what happened to Facebook. Facebook is it's trying to regain its legitimacy. It's a challenge. I mean, what would happen if they started charging you for using your YouTube? I mean, how popular is YouTube Red or whatever the hell their subscription service is? I don't think a whole lot of people pay for that shit. If you have a free service and you suddenly start charging a subscription for it, for people to have to use it, I don't think you're going to use it. That stupid $8 verification checkmark thing, I don't expect that to be a thing at all. I mean, he came out and said $20 for a month for a verification check mark, and everybody was like, "That's stupid. We're not going to pay $20." He said, "All right, fine, $8," thinking that $8, like it wasn't the price, thinking that it wasn't the principal, but it was the price. Well, they'll pay something. Yeah, you see, the stupid blue check mark isn't as valuable. I don't think. I don't even think it's even $8 valuable. If they had started out saying, we're gonna like Netflix. Netflix has dropped their price all the time. When they raised their price just recently, they caught a shitstorm. It's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to be impossible, but Twitter in 2 years is not going to be Twitter that we know and love from currently. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. I'm agnostic. I don't give a shit. If Twitter continues, great. If Twitter shits the bed and goes away, fine. I'll just move my business tweeting to another platform that has the same. I mean, where are we going to go right now if Twitter dies? I mean, there's nothing. There's no platform like that around. But that doesn't mean that there won't be a platform to replace that, a text-based, town hall type of thing. Not Elon. Jack Dorsey's already talking about. I think it's Paragon or Phoenix or whatever the new platform is. That's going to be a town hall type utility, a town square type utility that's not actually owned by anybody, but is actually just an open forum for people, more like an old bulletin board system used to be. But that also means if it's an open source type of old bulletin board system like what we used to have in the 1990s, you kids don't know about that shit. That's the old Wild West of 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 social media back before Friendster and before Facebook and before MySpace. Actual bulletin boards, which was the virtual equivalent of actual bulletin boards that they have hanging in coffee shops when people put the flyer up on the bulletin board, like at the in the halls at schools and universities. They put the flyer up and they have the little band seeking guitar player, and it has the phone number down there, or babysitter available weekends, and it has the phone numbers down there, and you take the phone number off of it and you call them up and you say, hey, how's it going? Or now you can send them a text, I guess, or whatever, or stalk them on whatever shit people stalk people on. But that was the old Wild West of social media, with bulletin boards, and you'd go check out the bulletin board and find out what's going on and post your messages and read the messages from other people, and AOL and shit. I mean, that was the old fucking Wild West. And Jack Dorsey's talking about whatever Paragon is that would be something like that. But see, here's the thing. In a circumstance like that, you're responsible and liable for what you post. If you post it on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, you're not legally liable necessarily, but you are subject to community standards. If there's no, I mean, you still be subject to community standards if you're using the bulletin board, because like the mob will still rule, but you will also be subject to legal standards. And if the idea is to get a more open forum, that's not gonna be any more open of a forum than it is out there on the corner of the street. You're not going to be able to go out there and say whatever shit you want any more than you'll be able to go to Paragon or whatever utility bulletin board system is going to be set up to say whatever you want, because you can't say whatever you want. And communities are allowed to have standards, and communities are absolutely allowed to say, you've violated those standards and we don't want you associating with us anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. These two competing ideas of a moderated space where they have standards and you adhere to the standards or you are invited to leave, or an unmoderated space where the standards are literally the law. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see. And the community standard wouldn't so much be the organization, the moderators saying, look, you violated the community standard, you need to bounce the fuck out. It'll be the actual community burying you in just mob rule. It'll be very interesting to see how that shakes out. Absolutely very interesting. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but I'm not worried about it because it's not my problem. It's not my problem. So there you go. So there you go. Let's keep rolling. It is what, 12:08? How long did I jabber about that? I've jabbered for 10 minutes. We're now 10 minutes further behind. So let's catch it up. Several channels were wrecked already. Just rebuilding those lists would take a year. Oh, yeah. Watch party for Phillies. I will be having a distillery watch party on Saturday night. Tomorrow night's game, I'm predisposed for tomorrow night's game. I won't be able. I'm going to be downtown doing a tasting for tomorrow night's game, but I will be. Back home watching the game here on Thursday. Saturday, I'll be in the distillery having a watch party at the distillery. The last couple of watch parties I had, nobody came because it was raining, and then it was something else was going on, and just like nobody showed up. So I came. I just watched the last couple of games from home. But Saturday, it's Saturday night, so maybe we'll get. I'll put the word out tomorrow. I don't know. Saturday should be game 6. So we should have a game 6. We will have a game 6. We'll definitely have a game 6. It's not going to end at 5. There's 2 more games left. So we'll, I'll put the word out. I've already put the word out on Twitter. I'll put the word out later that we're set up an event, a watch party event or something like that for Saturday night. But I'm not going to be online. I use my computer to watch the game at the distillery, or use our computer to stream it to the TV at the distillery. So I will not be online Saturday night. But after Saturday, after the game Saturday, maybe I'll go live. So there you go. Lone Star's in the house. Cheers, Lone Star. How about that fucking game, man? Unbelievable, right? Lone Star was doing it live over on the TikTok. And yes, as he mentions right there, let me catch real quick. Fox Sports, Fox something, Fox 26. Yeah, the broadcast Fox. The Fox Network channel. Here in Houston, it's 26. I don't know where it is in your local market. But yes, Fox, local broadcast Fox. There you go. But yes, as Lone Star mentions, I did hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, which means I'll have more live. I'll have live content on TikTok. Plus, I'll have more whiskey-related content on TikTok now, and less of well, the election's ending, so it'll be less advocacy and more whiskey on the TikTok side. TikTok's just actually, I'll probably model. Here's the real challenge. It's easier to do shorts on YouTube than it is to do shorts on TikTok. And I can port the talks, I can port the shorts from TikTok over to YouTube, but I can't port them from YouTube over to TikTok. And the music doesn't always move from one platform to the other either. So I do not have the ability. I am not good enough at what I do to record the same thing twice. So I need to figure out a better way to move my YouTube shorts over to TikTok and get the same kind of thing on TikTok as I have on YouTube. But I mean, TikTok's just a different beast. It's a different platform. It's a different audience. It's a different engagement platform. And I would do more whiskey shit over on TikTok if I got more engagement with my whiskey shit on TikTok. But they don't engage on the whiskey shit, so I do the stuff that gets engagement. They don't want to see me harassing fascists, then they need to not engage with my shit harassing fascists over on TikTok. I mean, that's just how it goes. Anyway. Yes, Bacon, I did start the channel 8 years ago, 2014. And technically, I started the channel in 2018 or 2014, but I didn't do anything with the channel until right before 2020, like November 2019, when I posted up the Ad Twins video. And I posted up the Ad Twins video, I think in November of 2019, and put some money behind the ad. And that was like 15,000 views of the 40,000 that I had in February of 2022. So there you go. Consume my shorts. Yes, that's exactly why I use that language. How many followers will it take for me to eat a roast beef sandwich and trying to pair it with one of your whiskeys live? Oh, I'll do that for free. A legit roast beef sandwich. No. I would absolutely. Homeless in America. Cheers. Welcome to this chat, man. I would absolutely that food pairings. Actually, that sounds like a really good video. A good roast beef sandwich and a rye, roast beef, horseradish, a little pepper jack cheese on rye bread, toasted rye bread with a good mellow corn or rye whiskey, maybe a strong bourbon. Maybe see which ones of my whiskeys goes with that. I think it would probably be the rye that goes best with the horseradish. And yeah, that's actually a really good video. That's a good idea, man. I don't have my fucking notebook. There's a notebook. I'll write it down in this notebook. I don't have any lights. I can't see shit. But that's okay. I'm good. I got this. Whiskey and roast beef pairing. Like food pairing, like videos about food pairing with whiskeys, uh, cocktail pairings, food pairings. Um, that's some decent content, I think. And uh, yeah, I would love to do some stuff in my kitchen or in the bar at the distillery. You know, cocktail videos from the bar at the distillery or food videos in my kitchen. That'd be great. That'd be a great combo. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with it. I'm down. Um, uh, all from lives mostly. 1426, all from lives. Yeah, I mean, I've got whatever what I say 1693, and it's all from lives. I mean, almost all of it's from lives. And now that they're opening up shorts for oh, excuse me, opening up shorts for the monetization. Excuse me, opening up shorts for the monetization angle, and you'll be able to get watch hours from the shorts. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work yet. I haven't studied that process. I've been focused on the views and focused on the engagement, focusing on the click-through rate, and focusing on all that. But now it's time to start Project 360 and start finding out about watch hours and where can I get my watch hours. Obviously, I get my watch hours right now almost entirely from live because this is pretty much all that I do on my channel that's monetizable right now. But because I have this very active shorts program along with my lives, the thing in the middle is the gap that I'm trying to fill. I've got my 15-second videos here, and I've got my 4-hour lives here, and somewhere in between 15 seconds and 4 hours is that sweet spot of videos that they have on the YouTubes. You know, those 10-minute videos, those 15-minute videos, those 20-minute videos. The videos that you look at and you're like, okay, I'll watch that. I'll give it a try. I was watching a Schitt's Creek video earlier today, a clip compilation from Schitt's Creek. It was a 30-something minute video. I watched, I think, 18 minutes of it, and then I hit my third commercial. I'm like, fuck this, I'm done. But there's like this sweet spot in there of YouTube videos. For most people, when they come home from work, when they come home from school or whatever they're doing and they're watching the YouTube videos, they're watching 15-minute videos, 10-minute videos, 5-minute videos. They're watching clips from games, they're watching clips from movies, they're watching clips from shows, you know, whatever it is, but they're not really getting into long form. They're not watching long form replays of the live from the night before. They're not going to watch a 6-hour live or an 8-hour live or a 3-hour live. They're not going to watch the trivia show that you did. They're not going to. Live shows get engagement during the live show. That's the whole point of the live show. You watch it during the thing. There's chat right over here. We engage with the chat. We have the conversation. We talk. There's not much of a conversation to be had 3 days from now or a month from now with this. They're just not. It's not there. So I need to bridge that gap with shows not only that they can watch right after they're released, but they can watch two years later, 6 months later, 3 months later, whatever. And my theory, at least, is that as you start putting those in there, the watch hours and engagement continues to grow. So you have one 10-minute show, 10-minute, or one 10-minute show, you get like whatever, 50 views the first month. Then you put in another 10-minute video, and that one gets 50 views, and then you get 50 views from the first one. So now you get the 100 views the next month, or let's go more pedestrian, 10 views the first month, and then the next month you get 20 because you get 10 and 10, and then the third month you get 10, 10, 10, you get 30 because you've got 3 videos, and the fourth month you get 50, and the sixth month, and it starts to exponentially grow as you continue to grow your market of viewers who are consuming and that's my theory. I could be proven entirely wrong over the next 4 days as I start to research this in earnest. But that's why we will do the update in a couple of weeks, and I'll share with you what I've learned with Project 360. I'll share with you the results and see how we're doing. But the goal for November is to hit that 360 mark of monetizable net 360, mind you, net 360, which shouldn't be too hard because November last year was like nothing. I don't think I had a whole lot of watch hours in November of last year. Do I have my thing still open? I don't have it still open. Let me look at. Let me see if I can pull up November of last year real quick with the channel videos. I'm going to pull it up on another channel or another screen and see if I can figure it out. But that's kind of the plan. See what it is. Go to my analytics. November of 2020. What was it? November 2021 would be last year. So it's going to be net. So I need to add more watch hours this year. And I didn't have shorts. I wasn't doing a whole lot of shorts this last year. So it shouldn't be too hard to, all of my watch hours should be from actual monetizable hours from last year. So if we go 11/01/21 to 11/30, 30/22/21, because I can't go to 22. Let's see what that tells me. Total watch time in November of last year, 181.5 hours. 181, and it was one short. I don't know how many shorts I had last year. I did a few shorts last year in November. But it says 181. Oops, wrong screen. It says 181 hours. Let's go back here. Is it there? No, damn it. Show me. Is it there? There it is. See, 181 hours. I don't even have the screen properly shaped. 181 hours. 13,000 views in November because I had a short pop off. See right there, 6,261 views on a short. This was a short that popped off that night. We had a day in the life show and a short. Both of those popped off, and then a couple of shorts the day before. That's what it was. It was the Compliment Your Distillers short that popped off that had a bunch of views that week. Anyway. Yeah, because that one I think had like 8,000 views. November 2021. That video I think had like 8,000 views. Which contributed to the 40,000 that we had. The 40,000 views that we had going into February. That's what it was. That was one of the videos, and this was another one right here where we had final stages of cooking up something good at the oil patch. That was the other video that popped off for several thousand views over the course of a few days. So those two gave me something like 16,000 views, which contributed to the 40,000 views. Anyway, it's like I've done all the research on this, and I know exactly where I was getting my engagement. Anyway, but yeah, that's the goal. So if the 180 rolls off, that means I need to add 400 something hours this month. But net 360. We'll see where it goes. Net 360. I don't know how many hours I got on those two shorts. I'm guessing 100, so maybe 450 hours total that I need to get. And we're just going to do it to it. We're just going to swing for the fences and see what happens. Just see what happens. Thank you, C&T Design, for reminding people to hit the like button. I appreciate that. 940th sub. Oh, do we need to update this? Update the little thingy? Refresh. It's still sitting at 939. All right, no worries. It'll pop up. It'll wake up. I'm not worried about it. But thank you, Homeless in America. Cheers. He's checking that. He's checking chat. I'll catch up to chat. It's 12:40. I'm catching up. I'm only 30 minutes behind now. I was 40 minutes behind. I don't know a ton about it. Understand it correctly. He's charging for a blue check mark. Yeah, that's what he's charging for now. But he's gonna have to figure out how to monetize that platform. He's got he's got to raise the revenue on the platform because the platform doesn't raise enough revenue, doesn't generate enough revenue to cover the debt service. So he's fucked. But he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Cheers, Mr. Jigs. Welcome to the party, my man. Oh. There's not sufficient disk space to continue recording. Huh. Well, let's add another disk. I just ran out of disk space on my USB card. Let's start recording again. Okay. Start. What's this say? Recording, status, memory usage, disk full, and approximately, I got 23 gig available. I got plenty of space available. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. Keep going, boys and girls. Let's get going. I think will never come on Wednesday shows again. I'm going to. I'll continue. I don't know. I haven't decided not to do the Wednesday shows. But I once we hit the 100 show mark, I'm generally the 100 show mark is when I sit down, reevaluate, and kind of figure out what to do next. And I haven't gotten there yet. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to work it all out, and that's kind of the plan. Making the mouth water. Yeah, roast beef, pepper jack. Just. And a rye would pair nice with the high. Exactly. Roast beef, rye, pepper jack cheese. Pepper jack cheese with the horseradish, rye bread, rye whiskey. See, the only hesitation I have is that it might just be too much flavor. You know what I mean? Like with the horseradish and the pepper jack and the roast beef and the rye bread and the rye, like that's just like you're piling on, and you need some contrast, you know, like a little sugar with the salt, a little sweet, a little tart. You need a little bit of contrast. That's just more and more and more. It kind of makes me think that if I keep piling in like that, like everything just goes numb. You know what I mean? That's why you pair the Arby's sauce with the horsey sauce when you're at Arby's, because you get a little bit of the sweet with the Arby's sauce and the tart with the horseradish. You kind of combine those two together to get the flavor. So it's like I kind of think that it might not be the rye might not be the whiskey to drink with that. It might be either the sweeter corn whiskey or the more mellow bourbon. I don't know. But that's something good to explore. Maybe throw in a little bacon. Oh, a little applewood bacon. A thick sliced applewood bacon. Damn. That'd be some shit, wouldn't it? Anyway, yeah, that's an idea. And maybe I'll do all that at the distillery. Maybe I'll pull out a hot plate and a skillet and cook all that shit right there at the distillery. That would be something. That would be something. Like record the show live and then cut it down into a 10-minute. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's an idea. That's a thought. That's a definite thought. Anyway, okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah. Not that I dislike rye, just prefer sourdough. Yeah, see, like maybe not rye bread. I mean, sourdough bread might be a good idea because it's a different flavor to go with the roast beef, horseradish, Hmm. Maybe that's what we'll explore. How to make the best roast beef sandwich. Maybe that's the show. Maybe that's the next happy hour right there at the distillery, like exploring the best, like how to construct the best rye or the best roast beef sandwich. What's the bread? What's your toppings? Do you do just mustard like some kind of fucking plebe, or do you go with the horseradish? You know, do you go with cheddar, pepper jack, cheddar jack, Swiss, like some kind of fucking impoverished Frenchman, or do you do something just out of the ordinary like blue cheese? What kind of bread do you do? Do you do like some kind of fucking savage and go with just plain old American white bread, or do you do whole grain, rye, wheat, honey wheat, like honey wheat? Fucking Frenchmen. Do you do? I mean, you got all kinds of different options to go with the stuff that you would put. I mean, do you for your roast beef? Do you add the au jus? Do you leave it dry? Do you throw in a little bit of barbecue sauce to go with the horseradish? Do you do honey mustard maybe instead of just plain old mustard, Dijon mustard maybe? Um, what is the optimal? Well, I need to get a chef. I need to bring a chef in and actually do this. Holy shit! Yeah, I need to bring in a chef, and then I need to have the chef construct for me, like we discuss these options and construct the best sandwich, and then go with that best sandwich, and then find my best whiskey and put them together. Holy fucking shit! That is, dude. That's the show. That show is a trillion views. Would break the internet. That is Kim Kardashian's ass on Old Humble Distilling Company. In fact, I'll title the episode that Kim Kardashian's ass. Here comes the pen. It's a thing now. Kim Kardashian's ass. Chef, roast beef, whiskey. Get at it. Oh, and then I just dropped my notebook. Where's my notebook? There it is. It's dark down there. Can't see anything. Some dumbass is in the dark with his sunglasses on. Who does he think he is? Think he's cool? Where did I ever come up with the idea that people wearing sunglasses is cool? Like, these are 100% functional. I don't get that. Like, anyway. Alright. Rye on rue violence. That'd be rye on rye violence, I presume. Okay, 2 a.m. now. That applewood bacon, though. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the stuff there. You're not wrong about piling too many sensations together. This is a technique called shocking the body, where you hit several sensitive spots to shut down the nervous system. Yeah, and see, I'm just thinking just overflowing, overflowing the taste buds and the nose and the all of your olfactory and yeah, just overflowing everything would just be yeah. Anyway, for me, love horseradish with a ground mustard. Yeah, 8 a.m. so going to hell for that. Sounds like a scientific experiment that needs to be done for further of all mankind. Yeah, and see, here's the thing: once we figure out what the technical construction of the best roast beef sandwich is, goes into a short. Bam! How do you make the best roast beef sandwich? I'm the old humble guy. Let me show you. Boom, 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 bam, and then you pair it with the whiskey. Bam, bam, boom. It's just fucking amazing. I'm a multimedia sensation over here. I'm a multimedia sensation over here. Hey, over here, what's up? What you Faza Bazoola? Or whatever. Can't find you on the TV. Oh, okay. I'm gonna refresh this one more time. Come on, show me the numbers. Damn it. I'm also looking over here at got a couple of shorts that I posted today. They're both over 1,000, so I'm like super duper excited about that. Anyway, oh, we also had our best month of ever in views this last month in October. 69,500 something views on our videos. 69,500 something views, surpassing the previous high water mark of 65,000 something hundred views. So yeah, there you go. Give me a wrench. What are you talking about? I don't know homeless in America. I would be happy to give him a wrench when I see him in a few weeks. See him in a few more lives, and I will give him a wrench. I'll be happy to. I saw the joke with the roast beef and the twins. I just chose to ignore it. They are professional actresses. They're good at what they do. I'm not going to engage your juvenile. I'm not going to engage your juvenile jokes about the twins. You can't drag me down there. That's for your. I'll happily go wallowing around in the mud. uh, Happily go wallowing around in the mud on Friday night when I come on your channel. I just chose to ignore it tonight. That's all. I just chose to ignore it. I didn't not see it. All my crudity and filth I save for Friday nights when I come for my after parties. And you haven't seen me the last few weeks because I've been really busy on Fridays. In fact, the beginning of October, I started up with this gig called the House of Spirits Haunted Cocktail Soiree, an event that's put on by this entertainment company called Meyer to Meyer. This is it's a haunted house party that they've done in. They started in L.A., New York, and they added Dallas, and this year they added Houston and Seattle, I believe. This was a thing going on even up in Seattle, and there's 6 locations where they do this. Chicago, that was the other one. So New York, Chicago, LA, Houston, Seattle, Dallas. Those are the 6. And basically it's a cool little thing. It's 5 bars, you get a bracelet, a wristband with 5 tabs on it. You get 5 samples of 5 different cocktails. And you go through this. In Houston, it was this house. And they have a big stage, and they have a burlesque show in the back and a big stage in the front, and they have 2 different shows that you get to see 3 times during each one of the runs of the show, and they did 3 shows a night. And it was a really cool party, and that's what I was doing most of this week. So I've been really busy this month doing that and doing tastings and doing stuff at the distillery. So I haven't done a lot of lives. I haven't done a lot of shows because I've been exhausted. But we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun rolling through this month. And that was the gig that I've been doing. And basically, I mean, I showed up to be a server. And basically what I was doing is taking a mixing shaker, pouring this booze out of a kegerator, shaking it up with ice, and then putting on a strainer, and then pouring out 2-ounce drinks for people to enjoy their samples of these cocktails. That's what I was doing. First night I showed up, blissfully responsibility free. Make pretty decent tips. They're paying pretty well. They paid like $20 an hour. They paid pretty fucking well to show up and just go, here you go. Hope y'all enjoy your night. I mean, shit was not hard. The manager of the show, the performance, after that first night, I go in the second night, find out what bar I'm supposed to be posted at. They say, hey, come here a second. We want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go and talk with them. They're like, okay, so we want to know if you would be interested in being our assistant manager. I'm like, God damn it. I worked 8 hours, 9 hours, blissfully responsibility free. All I had to do was show up, pull a lever, make sure there was ice. That was it. Day two, shot to shit because they're like, you seem like a responsible adult. You seem like a grown up. Would you be willing? God damn it. Yeah, I'll be willing. I'll do it. Look, and I told him, like, look, I'm doing this for the extra cash. You know, we're getting into the holiday season. We're going to be adding a new mouth to the household. I need, a little bit extra cash, get a little bit of spending cash, get a little bit of buffer going into the end of the year. They're like, oh, it's no problem. Just make sure the bars run really well, and we'll tell the servers, the bartenders, to tip you out at the end of the night. I'm like, well, shit, that's a pretty fucking sweet deal. So, effectively, I'm for most of the night, I'm running around. I'm making sure they have, all the shit that they need, making sure, picking up stray cups, making sure the rooms are clean, making sure the bars are good, making sure they're stocked. They got everything they need. The last night, Halloween night, I'm basically just walking from one end of the house back to the other because the last night of this thing, we're not like making sure everything is. We're not making sure everything is running from show to show to show and set up for the next show. We're basically winding everything down so that you kind of coast into the finish line and you don't have a whole. So, we're not making fresh cocktails between shows. We're not restocking with more ice. We're not getting more cups. We're not doing any of that stuff in between shows on Halloween night because the run of the show, the run of the performance is done at 11 o'clock. We're finished, like no more. So we don't need a fresh bag of ice. We don't need stacks of cups and all that because all that stuff's just gonna be brought back to the back and thrown away, or thrown into the boxes, whatever they're gonna do. So Halloween night, there's a whole lot less to do Halloween night. So literally, I was getting paid like $20 an hour to walk from one end of the house. The path was one end of the house here, through the room, down to the other room, back to the back wall. And then go back, up to the room, out to the other room, and back out. That was it. 6 hours. From 4 to 10. Walking. I probably walked 6 miles. 6.5 miles. Probably walked at least 6.5 miles over the course of those 6 hours. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Just making sure that, everything was good. You got enough, the nitrogen's working good. Nitrogen, you got cups, you got good flow, you got everything good? Good, awesome, excellent, fantastic. Would you like your picture taken? I take your picture. Took a picture with a dude who lives here in Houston, who was there with his date, who was a performer from Tampa. My job, JL, my official job, my job, my real job is the head distiller and owner of the Old Humble Distilling Company. I make the whiskey. That's what I do. My real job is running the distillery. That's what I do. That's my 100% day job. This other job that I was doing, I was just basically helping out. I was working the event staff and making sure that I was coordinating the performance for this House of Spirits cocktail soiree for the month of October. That was what I was doing. Another thing. Um, in my spare time, I'm doing other stuff. I'm doing the YouTube. I'm doing uh, what other jobs have I had? Uh, just to make some extra cash, some extra spending cash around, and use up my spare time. Door dashing and stuff like that. But and doing tastings for the distillery that's like a whole job all by itself. Doing brand ambassador stuff. Uh, so distilling, bottling, brand ambassador, run my tasting room. Uh, in my spare time, I'll DoorDash every once in a while. I haven't done that in weeks though. Haven't done that in weeks. But this was just a gig. It was an opportunity that came up. Friend of a friend of Lisa's, as a matter of fact, told Lisa that they were looking for this thing. Lisa, my co-host on Thursday nights, she said, "Yeah, they're looking for this thing. You need the extra. You got time? They're looking for people who can do this. It's some extra cash." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I got time. I got an open schedule. Let's do it." The only caveat was that the shows were Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I couldn't do Fridays because uh, I had our Friday nights live that I had to do. So that was the only caveat. And also Saturday the 29th, the two busiest days, the 28th and 29th, I was unavailable for them. But other than that, it was a really good gig. And a really fun show, too. A bunch of actors and performers and costumed weirdos, and it was really cool. I also learned a really cool thing about myself. I don't like putting my hand into dark holes where I don't know what's in those dark holes. I do not like doing that. I know there's some people who like see a thing and they're just like put their hand in there, no problem. Me, no, I do. No, and if you remember back in the 80s, there was this movie Flash Gordon, and there was this scene in the movie Flash Gordon where there was a rock and there was holes in the rock and it was like a punishment thing and they had to put their arm in there and like there's this thing that would attack them. I don't remember what the details was, but to this day, I absolutely positively am scarred by that scene because that was just it still gives me I'm a middle-aged old man at this point. I'm like in my late 40s and it's to this day, that still just gives me the skeevies. Just totally creeps me out. Putting your hand in dark, it's like, here's the thing, you just put your hand in there. Like I know what's in this. This is my cup. But, if you like have no. And then there was this like thing, there were two like attractions, I guess, at this place. There was one that was a dark maze upstairs that's just full of jump scares. You go in there, they turn off all the lights, you follow the light on the floor, and you go to the next room, and you see the little thing, and then somebody runs up behind you and goes, ah, and you're supposed to be scared. I didn't like that, but I knew I knew what was coming, so it was cool. I could brace myself. I did it by myself. I didn't do it with a group of people. If you do it with a group of people, it's even more annoying because then somebody screams and all the girls are like, ah, they act like fucking idiots. I was by myself, so I could like be scared and like know what's coming and be scared, but not act like a fucking idiot. So there was that, uh, and that was cool. I could handle that. That was fine. But the other thing was this like creature challenge thing where you're supposed to, you see, there was a clue, and you were supposed to find the thing, and there was like a painting or whatever. And there was a clue in the painting of what you were supposed to be looking for. You were supposed to go into the room and look for it and find the thing. And they had creatures that were all dressed up, all spooky and scary and whatever. And one of them was like a pregnant ghoul thing, and she had a big fat pregnant belly. And at the time, you were supposed to reach in there and grab that egg out of her pregnant belly sack. Ugh, just thinking about it makes me want to fucking throw up. Ugh. Hang on. Anyway, So, you see the painting, and that was the ghoul was there, and she comes to the door, she's like, "Bleh," and making all the faces and noises and stuff, and then she's like, "Bleh," and you're like, ugh, and there's like the big pouch belly thing, and you're just supposed to like put your hand like, I did not like that at all. That was almost enough for me to turn around and leave. The other 3 rooms were fine. It was just like a box or a drawer or something you had to go. The last room, the 4th room, 5th room, the painting was like this thing, and it was like a circle, and it was a black like swirl, and clearly you had to put your hand into a hole to get what. Then you go into the room, and there's a hole in the wall, and a hole in the seat cushion of a chair, and a hole in the back cushion and the bottom cushion and the couch and all the holes and stuff, and I go, God damn it. I don't like this at all, because I just know as soon as you put your hand in the wall, like something's gonna grab it and yank it in there. Like, I do not like this. This is not. So anyway, I'm walking around the room looking at the things that I'm supposed to stick my hand in to try and find whatever it is that I'm supposed to find. And I see, like, on the couch, there's like a couple of worms on the cushion of the couch in the front. I'm like, that's obviously where I'm supposed to. And I kind of look in there and I see what's in the hole. Okay, I'm just gonna grab that out of the hole. That's fine. And I was done. And it was like, ugh. And they were plastic worms. They weren't worms, obviously. They're not night crawlers sitting in the thing. Ugh. And so I learned that about myself, that I'm still traumatized from Flash Gordon in the 1980s, putting his hand in that rock. Ugh. Can people order booze with their groceries? Not in Texas. Groceries and booze are 2 different order systems. So you can order, there is a booze ordering app. Drizzly, I think. And there's another one that's an ordering app where you can do it. But yeah, I mean, you can't go to like Kroger's.com or whatever in Texas, at least, and order booze, because the grocery stores can't sell booze in Texas, not yet. But you can go to Drizzly or actually DoorDash, I think, does liquor. There's a few there. Yeah, there's a few that'll do it, but it's not with groceries, because in Texas those are two different entities right now. However, Walmart may be on the verge of getting a loophole to that, because corporations, uh, publicly traded it's some rule in Texas, like a publicly traded corporation can't own a liquor license. So Costco has liquor stores, but Costco doesn't own the liquor store. Costco has a space that they lease out to a local liquor store that has the license to sell liquor. So there's like a liquor store attached to Costco here in Texas, and that liquor store is a Frontier Beverage liquor store that's attached to the Costco. Okay, but there was a liquor store that went out of business. Take that back. They didn't go out of business. They went bankrupt. A bankrupt liquor store here in a liquor store chain had several dozen outlets, rooftops here in Texas. They went bankrupt, and they are the highest bidder right now for that bankrupt liquor store is Walmart. So Walmart might be the owner of this bankrupt liquor store, which might allow Walmart to have their liquor stores attached to their retail stores in the very, very near future. But we will see. We don't know. I know Walmart in other states like Arkansas and other places, they have booze in their grocery stores. But I don't know. Not in Texas, not yet. And in due time, soon, probably. Hopefully, we'll get some fucking leadership in Texas that's not rooted in the 1850s, and we'll actually get some decent goddamn uh, governance in the state. But we'll see. It's election time. It's election season, and that's one of the many things that are on my head. So anyway, yeah, Bacon. I was talking about the house, the haunted the haunted cocktail soiree house that I was working at this month. This creature challenge and the various traumas that I learned about this month that I still possess. It's just fucked up. So anyway, it's a driver delivery. Yeah, you can order online, but you have to pick up at the Kroger. Yeah, you see, I don't. They have alcohol delivery in Houston. Drizzly is the one that I can think of, but there's a couple of others. I may have the apps on my phone. Let me look. Nope, that's not it. Is it over here? Yeah, Drizzly's the only one that I have on my phone. That's the app that I can think of. There's others. Mash and Grape is one. Great American Speakeasy is another, but I think that might be like a subscription service. I'm not sure. There's a few that you can do to have alcohol delivered. And if they sell it at the grocery store, you might be able to buy it through the same app. Excuse me, where you get your groceries. I know we can buy beer through the Kroger app that we use to get our groceries. We could get beer but we go pick it up and they bring the groceries to our car. I guess they could deliver them to our house. I don't know if they do delivery. I don't know. It probably depends on the market. I mean, Houston is not a very good grocery delivery market because of the size of Houston and the way that Houston's laid out. It's not like New York where everything's tight and compact and you can put everything on the back of a bike and drive it somewhere. But anyway, but DoorDash and Uber Eats do the combo food plus booze. Yeah, exactly. And I know DoorDash would do food delivery. I know DoorDash will do booze delivery, but I think you have to have two separate orders because the food and booze come from two different places. You know, so that's what I was saying. Like you can't get booze with your groceries unless you have two separate orders: groceries, booze. Here in Texas, at least. Other states, I'm sure it's easy because they sell booze at grocery stores and convenience stores and gas stations, and they have booze everywhere. But here in Texas, they don't have booze at gas stations. Not right now. The only thing you can get at a gas station is beer and wine. So, so there you go. Separate orders, even if one drive. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Separate orders because at least here in Texas, I assume it's the same way in Georgia, or not Georgia, in Washington. I assume it's the same way in Washington that your booze and food come from two different places. I assume, or at least two different entities, even if they're in the same place, like Costco here in Texas. They come from two different entities. Costco has Frontier Beverage attached to their facility, and yeah, so there you go. So there you go. I really want to talk more about the Astros because I'm super fucking excited. Still super excited. That was history today. No hit the Phillies. Threw a no hitter against the Phillies. You potentially come from the same place because they're separate menus. Here you can get groceries from Safeway, but the same place will have a booze menu. In fairness, there are other places. So does Safeway sell hard liquor in Washington? Because our grocery stores here in Texas are strictly beer and wine. Our grocery stores in Texas are strictly beer and wine. They don't sell hard liquor. They don't sell spirits. You can get beer and wine, but not spirits. Spirits have to come from a actual, what we call here in Texas, a package store. So you can't get spirits at a grocery store in Texas. You have to get your spirits from a package store, and they have to be standalone stores. They can't be part of something. They can be you can have a deli. In fact, some of our big stores have limited grocery stores attached to the store, but it's in a separate section. Like the liquor stores here, and over here is the food section of the liquor store. At a great cost, sells retail liquor. I know Washington State sells retail liquor. I know you can buy liquor retail. I'm just wondering what the retailers are. Can you buy it at a convenience store? Can you buy it at a grocery store? Can you buy it at a gas station? Can you buy, like, where can you buy the liquor at? Does it have to be a standalone liquor store, or can it be like an actual store, like a Walmart or a Safeway or a whatever's a grocery store? Yeah, I remember a time when Walmarts weren't grocery stores, and that was like cutting edge. Like, Walmart's getting into the grocery store game. They're going to put grocery stores out of business. It just revolutionized the grocery store game, turned grocery stores into super centers instead of just grocery stores. But anyway, I digress. And I do know that liquor in Washington is pretty damn expensive. At least that's what I've seen, what I've heard. Like, shit's expensive in Washington. Any hoodles, my toodles. But yeah, sports ball. I like sports ball. Sports ball gets me going. I like it a lot. It's baseball's something special. It's always been something special in my life. There was a period in time here in Houston where we did not have professional baseball. And we had a team. It was just shitty. It was just a terrible team. The Astros were bad. They lost 400 games in 3 seasons. No, 404 seasons. Sorry. 400 games in 4 seasons. And then in 2015, something magical happened. 2014, they had a season. They had a season where they won more games than they lost. For the first time in like 5 years, 6 years. Then in 2015, or maybe that was 2015, the 2011, 12, 13, 14, they had losing seasons. And then 2015, no, that's what it was. They had a season 2014 where they were just over 500. And then 2015, no, I have that wrong. 2014, that was their last like 90 loss season. They didn't lose 100 games in 2014. And then 2015, they had a season where they didn't lose 82 games. They had an actual winning season. They got the wild card that year, something we were totally not expecting as a fan base. We were expecting one year you don't lose 100 games. That's great. The next year, you sneak in with like 85. You have a good year the next year, an actual winning season, and then the next year you actually go to the playoffs because you're building a team, right? No. They skipped that one step and they went straight to the playoffs in 2015. Totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. Did not expect them to go into the playoffs in 2015. They lost. Got bounced out in the first round, but it was like, holy shit. When nobody was watching, literally nobody was watching because we didn't have a cable deal either for like 3 years. Like there were nights when the game got a 0 rating because most of the TVs, most of the households in the city of Houston had AT&T as their AT&T or Comcast as their cable provider. AT&T Comcast controlled the market here in Houston, and neither AT&T nor Comcast carried the Astros baseball network. Couldn't get it. So the Astros baseball network, Comcast didn't carry it because it was an AT&T channel, and AT&T didn't carry it because they were switching owners and they were in litigation. So the Sportsnet, they were in litigation with Fox, I think. So they weren't carrying the channel either. So for a couple of those years during the dark days, they didn't have a TV contract. A professional fucking baseball team without a TV contract. And that's messed up. It's totally shit backwards. Just dumb as hell. So literally nobody was watching. Literally nobody was watching. Like twos and twos of people were going to the game. You know, they had games where like that made Oakland kind of look down on us and go, sure, why don't you bring in a crowd? And Oakland was bringing in like 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people to the stands this year. But they had games where, you know, they had a few thousand people in the stands, and you basically go to the game, pay for the cheap seats, and walk your way down to the good seats because they were losing 100 games a year. And you couldn't watch the game on TV. So literally, while nobody was watching, they put together a really good team. And then in 2015, out of nowhere, into the playoffs. And in 2016, kind of a letdown year. They don't go into the playoffs in 2016. But we didn't really expect them to go into playoffs in 2015. And they were a good team in 2016. They showed a lot of promise in 2016. And what happened? 2017, they go to the World fucking Series and win the whole thing. Like, out of the blue. Just, they put together a special team. They had Verlander and Evan Gattis and Altuve, and Correa, and Breckman, and they were just, they crushed. They won the fucking World Series. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Great year. And then what do they do the next year? 2018? They go back into the playoffs. Get into the championship series, if I'm not mistaken. Then 2019, back to the World Series. 2020, back to the championship series. 2021, they lose to the Braves in the World Series. Now 2022, they're back in the World Series against the Phillies, and they threw a no fucking hitter. They threw a no hitter. They threw a no hitter. It's harder to throw a no hitter in the World Series than it is to lose 100 games. It's harder to throw a no hitter in the World Series than it is to win after dropping or after going down 2-1. More teams have come back from a 2-1, 2 games to 1 deficit and won the World Series than have thrown no hitters in the World Series. Because only one team has ever thrown a no hitter in the World Series, and coming back from a 2 games to 1 deficit has happened like 5 or 6 times. This is a special team. This team is as special, if not more special, than the 2017 team. And the 2019 team was really, really good. Really good. And we should have won the World Series last year because we do it every odd year, apparently. But, goddamn. What a game. What a game. To be able to see history being made on my own TV. I remember watching the Astros win, clinch the NL championship, or the National League, the National League championship, the first place, or National League West division championship. Clinch first place in the National League West with Mike Scott throwing a no-hitter. That was fucking cool. That was cool. This is way cooler. This is so much cooler. It's a whole squad effort, too. And that tells you how good the pitching staff is for the Astros, because it was like 5 pitchers. They bring in all 5, and they just rotate them through. And they're all bosses. They're just all being men, manly men, throwing darts, and they could not. They at one point, they had retired 18 consecutive Phillies batters until Ryan Presley walked a dude. It is such a great night. Just a great night for baseball. So happy. So over the moon. Just nuts. The deal with Washington State Liquor is you can sell it almost anywhere. Like California, including Walmart. Devil's deal was the taxes, which made the highest. Okay, I get that. So they can sell it just about anywhere. Good. Do they have the lower level pro ball like the Lansing Lugnuts? We have, yeah, they have the Sugarland Space Cowboys is their AAA affiliate. Corpus Christi Hooks is their AA affiliate. I don't remember who their single A affiliate is. But yeah, we've got minor league teams. The closest minor league team we have is Sugarland, which is from me about an hour from downtown, about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes from downtown Houston. It's on the southwest side of town. I am on the north side of town. So there you go. You can make your own shine, but it has to be only for fuel. Yes. The federal license for making fuel is free. The state license will cost you money, but the federal license is free. Just so you know. The no-hitter is a rare. Oh yeah, no-hitter, like in general, no-hitters are rare. They don't, that doesn't happen very often. The Astros did throw one earlier this year against the Yankees. If I'm not mistaken, it was right before the All-Star break. They threw a no-hitter against the Yankees. The Astros deflated the ball. So this, I believe, is the second no-hitter the Astros have thrown this year. But it's not even the first squad no-hitter they've thrown, because I believe they threw a squad no-hitter. I think it was also against the Yankees. And I think it was back in like 2012, 2013, back in the dark days when nobody was watching the Astros except for when they were on the road. Yeah, I bet they did deflate the ball. I think you're right. Oh, Lord. Good night, John Jacobs. Thanks for joining the party. Thanks for hanging out with us. I do appreciate it. We still have 6 people in chat. Holy cow! I'll keep going as long as we got some people in chat. I'll keep going. I don't mind. But yeah, let's see here. How many no hitters were thrown? How many no hitters? 2022. How many no hitters in 2022? Has there been a no hitter in the 2022 season? 5 Mets pitchers combined to no hit the Phillies on April 29th in New York. Reed Detmer of the Angels threw a no-hitter against the Rays in Anaheim on May 10th. Hunter Green and Art Warren of the Reds combined for the 3rd no-hitter in a 1-0 loss to the Pirates on May 15th. So there was a no-hitter that they lost. That's hard to do. Throw a no-hitter and lose. The 2022 season had 3 no-hit games in just over 3 months. This article was written in June 2022, so it is not a complete. It's not a complete story. Who threw no-hitters in 2022? Christian Javier and Hector Neris and Ryan Presley. So it was only 3 pitchers tonight. I thought it was 5. Combined to no-hit the Yankees. No, that was June 25th. 3 hitters in the Bronx on June 25th. Or 3 pitchers in the Bronx. That was the Astros 3-pitcher no-hitter. The squad no-hitter. Houston's 14 no-hitters are the most of any Major League Baseball expansion team added since 1961. And now it's 15. It's 15 no-hitters now. There were 9 no-hitters in 2021. 9 no-hitters out of 162 times 30 teams, 4,000 divided by 2, 2,430 games. There was 9 no-hitters out of 2,430 games. That is 0.0037, so 0.37% of the time a pitcher will throw a no-hitter. And that was 2021. The previous record was 8, set in 1884. So in 2021, that was a record-setting year. And let's look at 2022 one more time. It says June 25th. Come on. Give me no-hitters by year. This is what I want to see. MLB no-hitters. Oh, Christ. Look at this. Nobody can read that shit. 2022 MLB no-hitters. 2022. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this was the 4th no-hitter thrown this year. There was only 3. The last one was June, and that was the Astros. The last no-hitter thrown this year was June 25th, and that was the Astros versus the Yankees. Before that was May 10th, and then April 29th. 1, 2, and the one in May was the Yankees or the Mets versus the Phillies, and that was 5 pitchers against the Phillies. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 4 no-hitters all year. That's 4 no-hitters out of 2,000. Let's see, 30 times 162 divided by 2. That's 2,430. So it was really 3 no-hitters out of 2,430. Divided by 3 divided by 2430 is 0.12% of the games ended in no-hitters. It is a very rare accomplishment. Partly because you have professional hitters standing up at the plate trying to hit the ball. It's, the other team doesn't want to lose. They're trying hard. They're trying hard to hit the ball. So, 27 Michigan this year. Hide the excise tax and the product cost, but you pay 6%. Yeah, my excise tax the excise tax is part of my cost of goods. So the sales tax is tacked on top. So you're right that we do hide the excise tax inside the product cost. But the excise tax is set by the state and the feds. So the sales tax, this 20.5% sales tax is insane. We have an extra 8% sales tax that we have on mixed drinks that we pass on to the customer. No, that we have to pay. We the bar have to pay. So on mixed drinks, our normal sales tax is 8.25%, but on mixed beverages, mixed cocktails, we pay an additional 8%. So that's 16.5% sales tax on mixed drinks that we sell. So we pay the mixed drink sales tax plus the regular sales tax, and we collect half of that from the customer, and the other half we have to pay. We can't pass that on to the customer, but we just jack the price up, so it's a $6 shot instead of a $5 shot. So there you go. Beer's cheap. Yeah, they fucking extort the liquor producers, and it's kind of shitty what they do. But 24, 25 cans for $1 or $2. God damn, that is cheap. Oh, okay. 20-ounce cans. Yeah, okay. I was say a case of beer that's enough to go to Michigan and get a truck and bring that truck down to Texas. Southbound and down, loaded up and trucking. I can't make margaritas because margaritas require tequila, but I can make whiskey sours. I can make whiskey sours. Um, and I think I might do a show where I compare the classic margarita with the lime juice with the uh, modern margarita with the sweet and sour, just like you did on your show. But I'll do a uploaded video comparing. You know, I like this idea of comparing the cocktails. You know, doing a cocktail comparison with the old fashioned mix versus the old fashioned classic style, the classic style margarita versus the uh, modern margarita mix. Doing doing a rum and coke versus a rum and something other than coke, a proxy for coke. Um, you know, doing kind of interesting stuff like that. Just but you know the thing is just getting the footage and recording the damn show and getting a camera that would be good for doing that. The camera I have is good for lives, but it's not really good for record. Oh, it might be good for record. I've never tried to do it as a camera for recording. So um, I've got plans. I'm working on shit. I'm working on it. Part of it's just getting off my ass and doing it because I've got other stuff to do. But you know, it's just doing it. That's the challenge. Is just getting my shit together enough to be able to set aside a day for recording videos, and then set aside a day for editing those videos. You know, because it's going to take about a day to edit. If I do it properly, it'll take about a day to edit. And then there's the background, the panels, the you know the intro panels, the cards, the you know all the stuff that comes with it. And what I'd like to do is record like 5 or 6 shows, 5 or 6 videos all together, and then uh, take the footage each week and edit out a show and edit out a show and edit out, and then bang out like 5 shows all at once, and then you know they all look the same, they all have the same like style, they all have the same theme, they all have the same like everything, and then just like crap it out, and then you know the next month you have like 5, you know, bam, 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 five videos ready to go, queued up, uh, weekly premiere type of thing. It's just a matter of mostly it's the editing I think it's kind of intimidating me, but we'll see. I mean, I'm working on it. I've got an idea. I've got ideas. It's just I've got a whole lot of other stuff going on, and it's just you know I've got to decide to set aside the time, especially when it comes with in relation to this Project 360. Project 360. Whoop, Project 360. All right, that's enough of that. I'm not going to do that again. Um, but yeah, you know, but it's all going to come together. I know for sure it's all going to come together. I feel very confident in that. And I've watched several cocktail channels too. Um, I don't like them. I don't like them. They annoy me. They I don't know what it is about them that annoy me, but I need to watch them a few more times to figure out what it is that annoys me because I don't want to make one of those. You know what I mean? I don't want to make one of those videos that annoy me. Uh, I want to be able to do it in a way that's different enough that I could do it and be like I be satisfied with what it is that I make. I don't want to make one of those videos and just hate it as I'm making it. And I've done several of those where I've made the video and I just hated it and I just did not like it. Um, so we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, there is. There's a Bartender's Guide paperback book. Bartender's Guide. I don't remember what it's called, but uh, it's not hard to look it up. It's a very common bartender's book. Bartender's Guide. It's a very popular. Um, the Bartender's Black Book. Nope, that's not it. Meehan's Bartender's Manual. Mr. Boston's Deluxe Bartender's Guide. That's the one. That's the one that I'm thinking of, at least. Mr. Boston's Bartender's Guide. That's the one I'm thinking of. I don't know which one you're thinking of, but that's the one I'm thinking of. Turn you back on. We still have 5 people in chat. Goodness gracious. Entirely accurate. It's an important quart or liter of dark and import. Huh? Robert Moore's in the house. Cheers, Robert. Welcome to the party, my man. That's a good question. That is a very good question, Robert. This channel is about, well, this channel is the official channel, the official YouTube channel of the Old Humble Distilling Company. And what it is that we do on this channel, on Wednesday nights, we have topical conversation. Tonight, let's see, last week we talked about the Lone Star Hiking Trail here in Texas. We talked about, we've talked about protecting democracy. We've talked about the Second Amendment. We've talked about the First Amendment. We've talked about old-fashioned cocktails. We've talked about rum and cokes. We've talked about absinthe. We've talked about all kinds of stuff on our Wednesday nights. You can find the playlist in our playlist Happy Hour 2.0. So all the topics that we've had over the last 90-something episodes. On Thursday nights, we do trivia. We do trivia nights on Thursday nights. Not this week. We're not going to do trivia night this week because I'm predisposed tomorrow night with the Astros game. We're not doing trivia this week. We'll be back with trivia next week. And on Friday nights, we do live music. So this channel, the Old Humble Distilling Company's YouTube channel, is basically an extension of the Old Humble Distilling Company's tasting room at the distillery. And during the day, I'll go live with some day in the life type of stuff, so you can see the behind the scenes things that go on at the distillery, things that we do behind the scenes. And tonight, specific topic that we're talking about is at my Project 360. I'm pointing up there like you can see it, but behind me is the title screen that says Project 360, where I've discussed transitioning my channel to start working towards getting 360 hours of watch time a month in pursuit of our monetization goal, because we're on pace right now to get our 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. So if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and like and subscribe and do all those shit that YouTubers tell you to do. But there's gonna be some different content that's going to come up. We've tried doing movie review shows and cocktail shows, and we've tried doing all kinds of different stuff along the way, and I've gotten rid of all that crap, and we're coming back with fresh stuff going forward. I don't know what it'll be yet, but we're working on it. So there you go. That's kind of a we're gonna bring some fresh stuff, and even for people who drink Jack, this is I think it's decent content. I think it's decent content, but taste notwithstanding. I kid. It is there's nothing wrong. There's I'm not one to drink shame. If you want to drink, whatever the fuck you want to drink, I don't care. Whiskey is a big table. Anybody can drink anything. I mean, I'll give you shit about drinking gutter water, but me, I make whiskey, so I drink the whiskey I make. It's not the only whiskey I drink. I have other whiskeys that I drink. In fact, right here behind me is a fine Japanese whiskey called Oishi. I did a whiskey review on this, watched by twos of people. Did not get a whole lot of engagement. Did not get a whole lot of views. That's okay. I may repost that up. Do it again. But yeah, I mean, I like to describe my channel as whiskey fueled nonsense. Just a good time of whiskey fueled nonsense. That's what we do. It's a good time. For a good time, call. Uh, but yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. And I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for taking the risk to come see what the frick it was that we were doing. Um, and I hope you hang around. I hope you come back next week for our trivia night, and I hope come back for our happy hour. I don't know what the happy hour topic is going to be next week. I haven't decided. Usually I pick the happy hour topic like Tuesday night for Wednesday. Sometimes I pick it Wednesday afternoon. Um, but yeah, usually I have a cocktail that we talk about, and then we get on with the rest of the discussion. And then after the first like 45 minutes of the show, we start like 10 o'clock on Wednesday nights. After the first 45 minutes of the show, I pop open the chat box and we do Old Humble After Dark and just go. It's none of the, oh, maybe that would be a fun one. Like pull out my conspiracy hat and talk about the conspiracy that I've been pondering. It'll be after the election, so it'll be fine. But, oh, yeah. The conspiracy, the ongoing conspiracy to overturn our democracy. That would be a fun discussion to have. Because I'm kind of putting like seeing the tendrils of where it could go. It's not ever going to go there. Don't. I mean, this is full tinfoil hat type of nonsensical bullshit. But there's like little tendrils of things that are floating out there to see. And if you put all the strings together, you put them all together, and you can see where they're gonna go with this and how we're gonna lose our tinfoil hat shit. But could be fun to do. Could be fun to do. Could be fun to do. Maybe that's what I'll do next week. Maybe I will actually make a tinfoil hat. Maybe that's what we'll do. Um, hmm. He's also talked about how lime juice is the original ingredient in margaritas and why sweet and sour mix is a cheap blasphemy substitute. I don't think it's a cheap blasphemy substitute. I think it actually improves the margarita. I think it improves the margarita. I really do. Um, and at this point, the lime juice is the blasphemy substitute. Um, Essence to absinthe is the only available in Mexico and New Orleans. Nope. Absinthe is available in most states in the Union. As a matter of fact, this is the absinthe that we talked about. Absinthe ordinaire liqueur. It is terrible. It tastes like ass. It does not make good cocktails. It is fucking horrible. But it is not restricted. It is not. It used to be restricted for not good reasons, for bad reasons. But it was the absinthe episode, when we talked about absinthe in the absinthe episode, basically the history of the absinthe, I mean, it used to be the drink of socialites, and it was the preferred drink in the salons of France. Voltaire drank absinthe. Edgar Allan Poe drank absinthe. These were the literary dinglings back in the 1800s. They drank absinthe, and you picture them in the talking about actually stanzas blah 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 like dickheads. But then the rumors, in the same way that reefer madness got weed restricted here in the States, absinthe had an absinthe madness type of rumor mill that got it restricted in the United States for many, many decades. But now it is pretty much unrestricted and available most places, but it has a reputation. So, for me, the reputation of absinthe is that it tastes like shit. It is just, it's just terrible. It's a bad liqueur. It's a bad alcohol. It's not. It doesn't taste good. It's nasty. Um, but it had a very undeserved reputation. The reputation that it got, the reason it was restricted was because of stories that were told about it. But the reason they told the stories about it was because people were drinking it in excess and causing themselves to be dead. Basically, that's kind of how it developed. It was the original Reefer Madness. It was Reefer Madness before Reefer Madness. It was Absinthe Madness, and it had a very unearned reputation. Um, but there you go. That. It is what it is now. And you can get it here in Texas. You can get it in probably can get it up in Michigan. I know you can get it in Connecticut because we looked it up in Connecticut during that show. In fact, I think I looked it up on Drizzly or Total Wine during that show in Connecticut. There's some states where it is restricted for whatever reasons, but there's also some states where all kinds of alcohol are restricted, like Utah, and hell, there's some counties in Texas where some alcohol is restricted because parts of Texas are still in the 1820s. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, musical guests. That's right, Bacon. Musical guests. Friday nights, live music. Next Friday night, Same Old Circles plays. That live is already posted. Same Old Circles plays Friday night. Music starts at 7. Doors open at 5. If you're local, come see it. If you're not local, catch it online. JLM's about to go. His phone's at 2%. Peace be with you, Jay. Come back next time or plug your phone in and come hang out with us and do what you want to do. Cheers and good night, my man. You drink Jack because it's what you're used to. When you didn't want to spend, yeah, it makes sense. I'm down with that. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't drink shame. I do give people shit, but it's all in good fun. Like one of my biggest complaints. Oh, and this is how I always give people shit. My biggest issue, my biggest complaint, is when people describe themselves as, "Oh, I'm a Crown Royal guy," or "I'm an Evan Williams guy," or "I'm a Jack Daniels guy." Like, you don't have to be. Like, that's not. You don't have to be that. You don't have to do that. You can drink whatever you want. There's nothing requiring you to drink Crown Royal. There's nothing requiring you to drink Evan Williams. You can choose to try something different. The worst that could happen if you try something different is that you don't like it. And probably that's not even the worst thing that could happen. Probably the worst thing that could happen is your preconceived notions of what's good whiskey and what's bad whiskey get shattered. And then you realize that you've been wasting your time and money on bad whiskey your entire life and that there's a whole aisle of good whiskey that you've never tried because other whiskeys taste different. That's my biggest complaint with habit whiskey drinkers. People just go and get the thing that they've always had ever since they were 16, and they continue to buy the same whiskey forever and ever because that's the whiskey that they drank when they were 16 because that's the whiskey that their dad had, and the whiskey that their dad had is the same whiskey that he drank since he was 16 because that's the whiskey that his dad had, and his dad drank the same whiskey since he was 16 because that's the same whiskey that his dad had. And it's like, Jesus Christ, why are you making the same mistakes that your great grandparents made? You don't have to make the mistakes your grandparents made. You can choose to make your own mistakes. Go make your own. That's what Jon Snow taught us in the Game of Thrones. We don't have to hate people just because our grandparents hated people. We can hate whole new people for whole new reasons. We should do that instead. Or maybe I misunderstood his speech or misremembered it. But that's the whole idea. You can just like try things. Like if you really like whiskey, try new whiskeys. You might find a new whiskey you like. Try things. Like there's people that say they drink beer, but the only beer they drink is Miller Lite. Like, you don't drink beer, you drink Miller Lite. There's a difference between drinking beer and drinking Miller Lite. Drinking beer is like enjoying the entire, like, I like beer, I like the hoppiness, I like the flavor of the beer, I like the different beers when I'm in different moods, when I'm in different seasons, when I'm in different places. I like to try different beers. I like to go to local establishments and try their local beers that they have. You go to Lubbock and you find out who the local brewery is and you drink their beer, and you go to well, not St. Louis. You go to Michigan, and you go to Lansing, and you find out what brewery they have in Lansing, and you drink that. You go to uh, Key West, and you have a land shark. You go to uh, uh, Seattle, and you have an anchor steam. You explore places. You come to Houston, you have a St. Arnold's. You have the local flavor of what is there. You come here to Humble, you get Back Pew or Ingenious or one of the really cool local beers that they have. Um, I mean, how dreadful would it be to go to Mexico City and just eat Burger King? You know? Yeah. Uh, yeah, I like Mexican food. They have Burger Kings in Mexico, right? Like Jesus, no, you're missing the whole point. But that's my market. Obviously, my market is people who like whiskey, not people who just drink one. All I drink is Wild Turkey. That's all I ever do. Like, that's fine. But do you like whiskey? You want to try more? Let's try some more. Expand your horizons. Try some new stuff. You've got two hands. You can put Wild Turkey in this one. You can put Old Humble in this one. You can drink them both. Not at the same time. I don't recommend doing it at the same time. That's too much whiskey. But Wild Turkey will sit on your shelf all week long. Drink the Old Humble. You got two hands. That's why God gave you two hands, so you could carry two bottles of whiskey. that's a marketing ploy right there. No, but that's how I approach it myself. That's how I came to whiskey as a whiskey enthusiast who I would try different whiskeys and explore. Uh, I started with Scotch because I would drink different Scotches and explore the different areas and different styles and different types of Scotch. And then I would go. But I didn't think that was a thing in American whiskey because I thought almost all bourbons tasted mostly alike. So I didn't explore American whiskeys, the way I explored Scotch whiskeys. But then I went to a whiskey tasting and discovered that whiskeys can taste different. Whiskeys don't all have to taste the same here in America. They have character, they have style, they have differences in regional differences and stylistic differences. And I fell in love with American whiskey. And it was just about 3 or 4 years after that I had a couple of stills, a business plan, a couple of stills, and a lease contract for a location, uh, and started our distillery up. It was, yeah. I mean that's how I come at what I do with the distillery. I come at it as an enthusiast first, and then as a maker and seller second. I would rather sell you on the wide world of whiskey and be a part of that than sell you on my whiskey and have you ignore the rest of the field. I would much rather you be. I mean, I want you to buy a bottle of my whiskey, obviously, but I would much rather you be an enthusiast for the entire market and uh, explore the market and have ours be the go-to, and then explore the rest of the market. And then just be us and ignore everything, because there's a whole style and scope and range of whiskey that tastes. Ah, it's a magical thing. It's a magical thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a great hobby to have of collecting whiskeys. I as an enthusiast, I like people who collect whiskey. I like to see what they have. I like to see their collections. I like to talk with them about it and see what it is that brings them to the drink, because all that stuff just fascinates me. It gets me excited. It gets me going. That's what I like about the hobby itself and the people that do the hobby in general. Some of them can be insufferable pricks. Some of them can be absolutely insufferable pricks. But even those guys, if you can kind of get around their whiskey snobbery and get them talking about it, man, find out what they really like, find out what they really do, and get past the only way to drink whiskey is blah, 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 that bullshit. I mean, you can get them going, get them talking about what they really like about whiskey and not what they think you should like about whiskey or what they think they should like about whiskey. You get oh man, you get some great conversations with these people. It's great. That's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. That's what I try to do here. It's just with the conversations and the stuff that we do. Um, Yeah. Um, and uh, to be fair, Bacon, uh, there's plenty of people that know a lot more than me. I know some. There's plenty of people that know a lot more than me. Uh, I know a lot about the whiskeys that I make. Uh, I know less about the whiskeys that I don't make. So they, there you go. The styles that I engage in, I know a lot about. I know less about others, but the styles that I engage in, I know. I research it in depth. Uh, so there you go. Cheers, uh, bacon. It also got you. Well, yeah. There's that. What is it? The wormwood, or what is the? It's supposed to have some kind of a uh, some kind of a herb in there that's supposed to get you like fucked up, but it doesn't do that. I don't remember what it is. Wormwood. I think it was wormwood, but it's probably. I don't think that's what it's called. Uh, but yeah, it's an undeserved. Absinthe has a very undeserved reputation for that. But you drink Patron in your margaritas. No, there's yeah, wormwood. There it is. I just needed to read down a little bit further. Yeah, it's not a hallucinogenic. It's not known to be a hallucinogenic. There are actual scientific studies that don't it like I said, it has an undeserved reputation. Um, Patron in your margarita. That Patron's the good stuff, right? That's the expensive tequila. I I generally don't like the idea of mixing expensive alcohol in cocktails, but um, that's what you want to do. It's your money. It is your money. If you want to mix expensive alcohols in your cocktails, go right. It is my experience that expensive, high quality alcohol does not make a better cocktail. It's my experience that you don't get a lot better flavor with a cocktail from a higher quality alcohol, because the whole point of a cocktail is to kind of mask the flavor of a lower quality alcohol. That's the whole point. Water, sugar, bitters combine to mask the flavor. I mean, you're not going to be able to take a. Uh, you're not. I mean, it's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig. You want the pig to look good. You're not gonna, you're not gonna turn the pig into a supermodel. But you want it to look a little bit better than just butt ugly. So if you start off with a better looking pig, you end up with a better looking pig. But there comes a point where your benefit ceases to the marginal utility flatlines, so to speak. You're not gonna you, you're not improving a good liquor with cocktail mix. You can improve a mediocre to. You're not going to solve the bad liquor problem. The best you're going to do is mask it. You can maybe take a mediocre liquor and make it good. You can make a slightly below average liquor and make it mediocre, at least cover it up so it doesn't taste bad. But, I mean, it comes to that point where it's like the liquor already tastes good. It's already an 8. What are you going to do? You're just going to cover up that 8? I mean, see, I wouldn't take Woodford Reserve and put it in a. I mean, I know they make mint juleps with Woodford Reserve, but I wouldn't take Woodford Reserve and put it in a whiskey sour. Uh, I mean, that's a waste of perfectly good Woodford Reserve. I'd take Maker's Mark and put it in a whiskey sour because I don't think Maker's Mark tastes particularly good by itself. Um, Jack, Wild Turkey, Evan Williams, stuff like that. I don't have any problem putting that in like a whiskey sour or an old fashioned because I don't think they taste particularly good by themselves. I mean, they taste okay, but not particularly good by themselves. Uh, you can improve it by putting it in a sour, you know. Uh, oh, Robert, you're in Texas? What part of Texas are you in, Robert? I'm just outside of Houston, by the way. I'm right here. Humble, Texas is just on the north side of Houston. So, if you're nearby, come and visit us on Friday nights. Uh, and if you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel and you come to the distillery, I'll give you a free shot glass. If you prove that you're a subscriber, you get a free shot glass. So there you go. So yeah, there you go. Don't forget the intellectuals help make absinthe get the yeah, exactly. That's the point. The intellectuals that would sit there and uh, get themselves shit faced drunk in the salons, they'd go out and cause a ruckus, and that's how they got the reputations that it got. That's part of the reputation that they got. But yeah, I mean, the wormwood in absinthe is the original like reefer madness scare. Uh, yeah. Anyway, get in California at least before 2012. I bet you know. Um, you're an Evan Williams guy. Doesn't mean you won't hesitate. Yeah, I mean, and that's I mean, and that's how I approach it. I approach it not as I mean, we're a craft distillery. We make a craft whiskey. We make kind of a niche, kind of premium type of product. I'm not necessarily asking people to replace their regular drinker. I would love it if they did, but our base model whiskey is a or $25 bottle of whiskey. I'm not asking you to replace your $14 bottle, but I am saying maybe consider what an extra $10 does for your whiskey. Maybe consider, our bourbon is $60. It's not an everyday drinker. It is a uh, low premium to high mid shelf type of bourbon. Uh, I think it is damn good. It's worth every fucking penny. Um, I mean, we might retail at 55 instead of 60, but it is worth every damn penny. And I'm not asking you to replace your what is it, Old 40 $9 bottle of bourbon with our $40 or $60 bottle of Boomtown bourbon, but I am suggesting give it a try. Maybe you'll convince yourself that it's worth every fucking penny, because I'm telling you, it's worth every fucking penny. Give it a chance. Give it a try. Give it a thought. That's all. Experience the whole market. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah. See, that's the thing about Scotch. Scotch, my lovely wife. Hey, baby. I'm right here. Mwah, love you. What time is it? Holy shit, it's 2:30. Guys, I've got about 30 minutes before I got to bounce. I didn't realize it was this late. Um, the cool thing about Scotland has 4 different uh, stylistic regions: the Highlands, the Lowlands, the Isles, uh, and the Orkneys. The different zones, distinct flavor profiles, distinct climate, aging styles, distinct uh, malting styles. The Isles have that heavy peaty flavor from their the way they smoke their malts, their way they malt their barley and smoke the grains. Um, but see, if you put them side by side, you'll notice the differences. Uh, and what we used to do at my uncle's place after my wife's uncle's place after Thanksgiving is we'd have Thanksgiving dinner, and then the next day, Friday, we would go to Scotland. go to Scotland was a euphemism for drinking scotch from all 4 different regions of Scotland. A bunch of guys sitting around going to Scotland, and we would sit there and tell stories and drink scotch and just have a grand fucking time. We have a grand old time, like 5, 6, 7 of us sitting out there on the back patio, passing around 4 different bottles of scotch from 4 different regions of Scotland. That was my earliest introduction to the different regions of Scotland. And see, here's the really cool thing. The United States has dozens of aging regions for our whiskeys. The state of Texas by itself has 5. We have the Gulf Coast, we have the High Plains, we have the Central Zone, we have the North Texas Zone, and we have the West Texas Zone. So Gulf Coast, you can picture the Gulf Coast, obviously. The Central Zone is basically the triangle between Houston, Austin, Dallas. The West Texas is west of San Antonio. North Texas is the Dallas area, basically that zone from like Dallas north. And then the High Plains is off near Lubbock. We have 5 distinctly different regions in the state of Texas itself. And then you have, New Mexico and Arizona. California is different from them. Washington, Oregon, New York, Illinois, Iowa, Idaho, the lower Pacific coast, the South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, that area. You have the area on the Gulf Coast between Florida and Louisiana. You have all these different areas that have all these different climates that have just different style, and they interact with the whiskey differently. And it's just we lost all of that diversity of different styles and different. I mean, Pennsylvania and Maryland have 2 distinctly different styles of rye whiskey. Rye whiskey, 2 distinctly different styles between those 2 distinctly different states. And they're that close to each other. But we lost all that diversity of different flavors and different styles during Prohibition because all the local, regional, different styles of whiskeys that they had over in the various states all collapsed into like a 60-mile zone in Kentucky. And that was it. Lost it all. Indiana, Kentucky, that was it, pretty much. Those are the 2 areas that had distilleries still after Prohibition. So, yeah, we lost a lot of that diversity. And the cool thing about the craft distilling boom that we've experienced over the last 5 to 10 years is we're getting a lot of that diversity back. And it's not the same when some factory in Kentucky decides they're going to do a craft label or whatever. That's not the same as a distillery in upstate New York or Central Texas or Washington or Oregon or whatever deciding they're going to do 5,000 bottles a year is not the same as another Kentucky factory saying we're going to do 5,000 bottles a year. And for the Kentucky factory, that's just a different label to them. For a place out in Utah or Colorado, that is a whole nother whiskey. It's a whole nother flavor, a whole nother style, a whole nother everything. And you can't replicate Colorado in Kentucky. You can't do it. It's different water, it's different air, it's different climate, it's different everything. The seasons are different. The whiskey interacts with the barrel differently. You just can't do it. I mean, you might be able to take, a few thousand cases, divert them off the line, and slap a different label on the bottle. And poof, you have a craft whiskey line all of a sudden coming out of Kentucky. But it's not the same. It's not the same as something coming out of Waco or San Antonio or Salt Lake City or Albuquerque or some other place. It's just not the same. You can't do it. You take the same distillate out of one single still, put it in a barrel, take 5 different barrels, and send those 5 different barrels to 5 places and bring them back 9 months later, you have 5 different whiskeys. They taste drastically different. And that's one of the glorious things about this spirit. I love this drink that much because it's what happens inside that barrel is almost a mystical thing, and I love it. I absolutely do. Mm. Anyway, um, oh, thank you. Um, and yeah, I mean, I like the idea. And I firmly believe in my brand enough that I can say, yeah, try the other stuff. And I think that I would rather them find a whiskey that they like and drink that whiskey. I really would. I would really rather them try it that they like it and then use that whiskey as an introduction to the rest of the market and come back to us later than to try my whiskey and not really like my whiskey and then just get turned off by whiskeys entirely. I would rather them, and that's why I always tell people, you don't have to find an expensive whiskey to find a good whiskey. You find your price range and try whiskeys in your price range. If you really want to try them, if you really want to get to drinking whiskey and you really want to get to know the style and the brands and the market and the spirit. Oh, look, we got up to 940. Thank you. Whoever I guess Robert would be the number 940. Thank you very much. But if you really want to do it, you know, explore. Put on your backpack. Put on your backpack. Get your walking sticks and go explore. Find your bliss, whatever it is. And maybe it's not whiskey. Maybe you really are a vodka person. Whatever. Uh, maybe you'll prefer beer over whiskey. Maybe you prefer tequila over beer. Whatever. Find your bliss. Enjoy yourself. Life's too fucking short to be miserable all the time. Go find your joy, whatever it is. Maybe it's Kit Kats. Whatever. I don't care. Go do it. Go find it. Have fun. And that's what I mean, that's my philosophy on life. And obviously I'm a sales guy and I want you to buy my whiskey, but uh, yeah, I want you to buy 3, 4, 5 bottles. I don't want you to buy the one and then be miserable and hate life. That's no good for anybody. I want you to just love it. Anyway, um, on we go. It's psychotropic. It's the high alcohol content. Yeah, that's what it was. But they couldn't just say it has high alcohol content, so you get drunk a lot. They had to say there was something else. There was something else that was causing people to act like dipshits. There you go. That's what they did. Patron in my margaritas while I'm listening here about the whiskey. You've had Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca Creek makes some really nice stuff. They make a spirit whiskey, and spirit whiskey is different from other whiskeys. What spirit whiskey is basically it's vodka. It's neutral grain spirit. It's part neutral grain spirit and part whiskey. It's a combination between the two, but it's basically aged vodka. It's not entirely aged vodka, but it's basically aged vodka. So it makes for a smoother, easier drinking whiskey. Their spirit whiskey is sweeter, smoother, and I mean, I tell people it is a standing up whiskey because what you do with Rebecca Creek is you grab that bottle, you pour a drink, and you stand up and you drink it because next thing you know, you got about a quarter of that bottle left, and you are fucked up because it is so easy to drink. And if you drink it sitting down, you're going to get to the point where you can't get up and get another drink. If you drink it standing up, then you're at least already upright and you know when to stop because your knees start to buckle and the world starts to spin. So I call it a standing up whiskey. I also call our whiskey a standing up whiskey because it's kind of the same way. So you're in North Texas, southwest of Fort Worth. Okay, so it'd be a bit of a drive to get down here for it'd be a bit of a drive to get down here for Friday night. But if you do find yourself in the market in the area, come down for a live show. But up there in Fort Worth, go check out a Specs or a Total Wine. Definitely in Dallas, but there's certainly some in Fort Worth as well. Go check out Specs and Total Wines. We are in that market up there with our straight whiskey and special reserve. Go to our website, oldhumbledistilling.com. There's a store finder map on our front page. You can find our whiskeys at a store near you. So there you go. I can't tell the other guys because they're in Washington and Wisconsin and Michigan and whatever. But you, my friend, you are as local as they come. So go check it out on the map. Put in your zip code, and it'll tell you what the closest store to you is. So there you go. Yeah, exactly. You don't lose money buying quality. That's true. I give you an example of a good scotch. That's tough, man. Yeah, I don't have. I mean, Highland, Lagavulin, Balvenie, um, Glenmoray. There's a lot of really good scotches. I mean, there's a lot of them. And again, it's whatever your palate. If you like a heavy, oaky, peaty, smoky type of scotch that tastes like a cigar, or it tastes like the air in a cigar parlor. That's something like Lagavulin or something like that. That's that thick, smoky, peaty uh, scotch. If you like something that's a little bit has a lot of character, but not a lot of smoke, something like Highland or Balvenie. You like something if you like the taste of port or sherry. Balvenie 14, I think, is aged in port casks. Um, I mean, hell, if you like Scotch, rice whiskey. This shit is rice whiskey from Japan. Tastes a lot like Scotch because they age it the same way. Rice is a very mild, mellow grain, much the way malted barley is a mild, mellow grain, and they age it in the same type of casks that they age it in Scotland. Rice whiskey tastes a lot like Scotch. That's something that I didn't expect. Rice whiskey and Scotch taste they're almost identical. Uh, so, there you go. Uh, I would, I mean, and if you don't like a heavy, heavy Scotch flavor, try some of the blends. I mean, Johnny Walker's not great, but it's a good blend. Uh, J&B, um, Chivas, those are good blends. Um, and they have a mellower, flatter flavor to to the whiskey. It doesn't have the bite and the strength that the heavy peaty or whatever other types of whiskeys would have. So it's you know I like I said I encourage people to explore because you can get three bottles of the same distillery that are different ages and they'll taste different obviously because they're different aging, but also the Scotch makers will age them in different barrels. So you have a Scotch that's aged in a vanilla barrel with vanilla in the barrel, or a port barrel, or an old bourbon barrel, or whatever, and all three of them taste entirely different. And the 16-year may not be better than the 12-year because the 16-year was sherry and you don't like sherry, but the 12-year was bourbon and it tastes great. It's hard to say without knowing what you like try that one, try that one, try that one. I mean, Macallan is great. McAllen is a town in South Texas. McAllen is the Scotch. Hell, you're in North Texas, just south of Fort Worth. Uh, fucking Balcones makes a single malt that is just amazing. They make a single malt. They have a smoked corn whiskey. Their Brimstone. Their single malt is really good. Has won awards in Scotch whiskey competitions up against single malt scotches from Scotland, which is where Scotch comes from. Balcones makes some great stuff. Uh, like I said, put on that backpack, grab your walking stick, and go fucking explore. See, there's a horizon full of whiskey. Go grab a bottle. Go see it. Go check it out. See what's up. It's there for you for the taking. That's why it's out there. Um, so there you go. That makes the climates we have here some of the most important. If I say, I think say Diversity is absolutely our strength. That is absolutely right. And we have a big enough market. We have a big enough population, big enough market. We should have more distilleries, but we have a handful of really large distilleries that kind of control the market. And that's just how it is. And yeah, 4 hours away is not nothing. I mean, that's I've driven to Dallas to do tastings. 4 hours is a commute. Hell, I was on the road for 3 hours today going to a fucking tasting. And it was here in Houston. I got caught in traffic and I was sitting in traffic. And then they told me I couldn't do the tasting because I was an hour late. And I was like, fine, fuck you, I'm out of here. Uh, you can sell your own goddamn whiskey, you bastards. Oh, yeah, I should probably open a new window. I'm going to subscribe to Homeless in America's channel too. Or at least check it out. I'm going to see what I can. I'm going to subscribe to that one in a little while. 940, 940. We should be at 941 then. Or 942. Are we up? Well, we'll get. I think that's slow on the uptake, is what that is. Well, like I said, I got to have 945 by the end of the week in order to continue to be on pace to get to my 1,000 by the end of November so that I can fight the kangaroo. Robert's like, this motherfucker's going to fight a kangaroo? Did he just say fight a kangaroo? Yeah, I said fight a kangaroo. We'll talk about that later. We're running out of time tonight. It's 2:52. I got to wrap up at 3. So I'm going to start wrapping up in about now. So where does the Scotch get the peat from? If it's so okay, so what they do in the malting process in Scotland, with these guys, what they'll do to dry the malted grain. So what the malting process is basically heating up the grains so that they sprout. They wet them, they heat them, and then they sprout. That's what malting is. It's sprouting the grains. So malt, they take the malt seeds, the grains, the kernels, and they wet them down and they warm them up. And then when they warm them up, they're basically incubating it. So it sprouts. Where does the Scotch get the peat from if it's so close to? I meant the Japanese. Oh, where does the Japanese Scotch get the peat from? Well, I'll get back to that in a second. So in the malting process, what they do in the Islay region is they basically take their peat and light the peat. It's they burn it and they smoke their grains to get that peaty flavor. In Japan, they don't do that. They don't smoke and peat their grains. They use the barrels to get that similar flavor. So this Oishi is aged in. It's a combination of Islay casks. This is finished in. Can you see that Islay casks? So they actually take the casks from Islay and combine it with whiskey that's aged in sherry casks. So it's half sherry aged and half aged in Islay casks. So they get the flavor from the Islay cask. That's where they get their peaty, smoky flavor for this whiskey, at least. That's where they get their peaty, smoky flavor because it was in the barrel. So that barrel imparts the flavor along with the sherry and it blends it together. And that's how they get that Scotchy type flavor in that particular. But all of them are different. They all have their own different processes and their own different flavors. Some of them, in order to get the flavor, they actually import the peat. Balcones does that. They buy peat from Scotland and smoke their grains that way. But everybody has a different process, and it depends. You can't say this is how they do it because they can be 50 different distilleries and they have 50 different processes or 27 different processes. Some of them probably use the same process. So anyway, so there's that. Guys, really Bacon, Robert, Mr. Jiggs, everybody else. I really do have to bounce. I would love to stick around and do this more. But I've got to get up in the morning. I've got work to do in about 6 hours. I've got to get up in the morning. I've got to finish my drink. I feel like I'm still wired from the game. I'm so fucking excited. Wired from the game. Astros threw a fucking no-hitter in the World Series, man. He threw a fucking no-hitter in the World Series. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Astros in 6, bitches. Cheers. Hate them. Take the hate to your grave. Die mad. I don't care. Cheaters for life. Fuck them all. Anyway, Friday night. It's tomorrow at this point, because now it's Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday night, nothing. We're not doing a show Friday night. Next Friday, the 11th, we're doing a show. Same Old Circles plays again. Returning champion, same Old Circles next Friday night. I'm likely going to be doing a day in the life at some point in the very, very near future. I've got whiskey to bottle. I've got barrels to check. I've got a production booth to make. I've got a bunch of projects that I'm working on. So stay tuned. Be awesome. Think with your whole brain. Love with your whole heart. Go out and vote early if early voting is available in your location. Don't forget to vote on the 2nd or on Tuesday if you haven't voted early. I will be working the polls here in Texas, in the Harris County, Houston area on Tuesday. Maybe we'll do an election after party, do results watch party Tuesday night. Why the fuck not? It'll be fun. Yay democracy and all that shit. I know, right? It's a no-hitter in the World Series. That's happened twice, and this was a squad no-hitter. This is the second squad no-hitter we've thrown this year. There was only 4 this year, and 2 of them were the Astros. Astros in 6, baby. Astros in fucking 6. What? All right, anyway, good night, everybody. I really do appreciate the support. I love the fact that you're here, and I'll be back. We'll do more of these. I promise. I'm going to get back into the swing of things as soon as I can. Promise. Pinky swear, cross my heart, and all that stuff. Be awesome to each other. Life's too short for bad whiskey and too long to do nothing about it. Cheers, everybody. Good night.